Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. It is I, Jesse Milestone, coming to you on this Friday with both good news and bad news.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
Where people were just walking around, just jizzing force all over the place. He looks like he has been drinking soy from his mother's teat. Wrap yourselves in, guys, because we are gonna get mean!
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. It is I, God Empress, Jesse Milestone, and joined, as always, on the Matriarchy by my amazing co-host, Anna, that Star Wars girl.
Hello! Crazy day. Been streaming a lot today, but it is our weekly show, so it is time to get it going.
Time to bring the stream from over there to over her. So welcome. Thank you for joining us, especially if you've popped over from Anna's stream. Welcome, especially. Don't forget to drop your impressions of the like button. It looks like we did already have some super chats come in, but unfortunately, that newfangled YouTube studio that's supposed to make our streaming life so much easier is still being glitchy. So I'm going to have to refresh that a couple times before I can catch all of those. So bear with me, but I did see those. They were not forgotten. Thank you, Madness Productions. That intro was made by Cody, the Bass Man, who is now on YouTube. He was on my stream last night, actually. We did an awesome live stream with him and Mandy Summers last night. You can go check that out. It's up there, and his links are in there. If you enjoyed that intro, if you like my t-shirt designs, my awesome graphic work, hit up Cody, because he will make that stuff for any member of the Fandom Menace or the Mindless Mob for free. So that's exciting. It's not as exciting as what's been going on all morning. So
And night, Jesse.
Oh, and night. So we made a friend a little while ago. We made a friend. We discovered a gem in the community back around the launch of that incredible, stunning, brave, and super successful campaign to make women feel comfortable being Star Wars fans, Project Stardust. And the stunning and brave founder, Meg, had some problems with certain people's criticisms of her efforts. Of I don't know, the rest of us who said things like, I don't need a project devoted to letting me be a Star Wars fan. I've been doing that shit all my fucking life without permission or a special program. Please and thank you. But apparently I'm just a brainwashed member of the patriarchy. And I don't know anything.
Well, I mean, I just think it's funny because it's like every response you just see is a bunch of women saying that's not true. You know, I've never had to ask for permission. I can create my own safe space. Like I can have, there's plenty of platforms out there, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook. There are plenty of platforms out there for people to have a voice. Mm-hmm. And there's women like me, like you, Jesse, that have utilized those platforms to, say what we think. And this is where we let our voice speak. But apparently all of those years, it's all make-believe. It didn't exist until 6 months ago when they created Project Stardust.
Oh, of course not. No, women actually didn't even exist until then. And we just suddenly sprung up onto this earth and desperately needed to be Star Wars fans, which we were never allowed to do before.
Apparently we needed to ask permission to, which I never had to do.
Yes. All right. What was that? Tea. I need tea. We have tea in this.
Oh,
we're tea people now. Ooh, this is cool. Actually, maybe we'll make one of these. I can show it to you on air if we do one of these. We got blooming teas because I got this little teapot.
Oh yeah, you showed us last week.
Dude, I did. It's so fun. It's so fun. Oh my god. Thank you, the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkeys. I grant you permission to be a fan of me. Thank you. That's great. Feeling PKL says, woo! 0 permission. That's right. That's how we play this game. Thank you for the super sticker from Roger H. I'm working my way backwards on super chats in case you couldn't tell. That's apparently what I'm going to have to do today for YouTube's sake. Thumbs up. Thank you. It sounds like we have your approval. Not that we need your approval because we're women and we're strong and we have a project that tells us that we don't need your approval. So ha ha ha. The end.
Oh my God.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's see. Can we catch any more sliding back here? La, la, la. Yes. Charlie Spur says, please tell me you're late because you're putting on super simp outfits.
No, I was kind of updating Jesse on everything that happened in the past hour and a half.
Yeah. So do you want to update anyone else who may not have been around, give them the TLDR?
So basically 6 months ago, this person launched, like me and Jesse were just talking about, this person launched, and I did a video about this if you want all the information with all the screenshots, all of that, all there. So this person said, hey, women have never had a safe space or a platform to speak. We are creating that here. Also, women have always had to ask permission to be Star Wars fans. And here in our safe space on this platform that we created, which is apparently the only place on the internet you are allowed to speak your opinions and have a platform in a safe space. Yeah, that's what they're doing. So me and a lot of other people called that out, saying that that's completely bullshit. Now, me, being the person that I am, and I explained this earlier, I like to do my own research, and I like to put the puzzle pieces together. I like to kind of be Batman and follow the breadcrumbs and find out this stuff. So this person has their full first and last name on Twitter. What did I do? Google, fantastic tool. What did I find out? Oh my gosh, she has a YouTube channel. Not only did she have a YouTube channel, she had a YouTube channel, or, she has had a YouTube channel and is posting videos for 9 years. So for 9 years, she's had this platform and this safe space where she's been speaking her opinion. But isn't that contradictory to what she said? And so then I looked at her Twitter and I saw, well, her videos don't get any views, like any. Her highest viewed video was over 2,000 views. Everything else is under 100. Mostly.
You know why, Anna? You know why that is? It's because the men didn't give her permission to be a Star Wars fan.
Even though she's not talking about Star Wars.
Exactly.
She's talking about writing. But
Those
so
are the things that nobody cares about because nobody cares about her.
Well, it's like you got to do stuff compellingly if you want people to watch them. That's kind of the presentational aspect of it. It's like, why will somebody read your book? It's got a compelling title, though. The book's cover looks interesting. The little synopsis or the little summary that they have on the back, it entices people to pick up that book out of all of the thousands of other books in the library or the bookstore. That's the one that they pick, right? Yep. And so you got to have some of that when you have a YouTube channel. But aside from that, what did I do? So I did a video and I showed her YouTube channel and I said, hey, well, this contradicts her statement about women not having a platform and, all of A, B, and C that were these accusations that she made. And then what did she do after I posted my video? She privated all of her videos to hide the evidence. But guess what? I already had a video. It was already there. This happened 6 months ago. And then she cried about being harassed. And then people showed how she had videos and how she removed those videos. And, she was lying. She was a liar. She still is a liar. She's a liar and a clout chaser because guess what? I even showed this in my video. I'm like, her tweet from the day before because she posted the women have to ask permission to be Star Wars fans, that had all of these likes, all of these retweets, all of these interactions, right? The one before that had like maybe 1 like. And no comments. So I'm like, and you go through her feed, everything before that was exactly the same. And on her YouTube channel, again, no views, nothing. 10 years on YouTube, only 73 subscribers.
Yep.
All of a sudden she does that and she gets all this attention. So it's like, yeah, you created this situation that didn't exist. You made up this lie, making you a liar. And you did it for attention. So you're a clout chasing liar. And I showed that in a video 6 months ago. She didn't like that very much. So apparently she reported me. And then yesterday she came back on my radar after not thinking about her for months. And
lovely, peaceful.
She said some other terrible stuff about, again, Jesse, did you know that men are the embodiment of all evil? They're responsible for every single problem we have. Also, Jesse, did you know that men are hurting women and some women don't have the protection that they need? And so people like me, specifically me, I need to have my platform removed and other people like me, but mostly me, because women need protection.
Oh yeah, you're a huge threat to womankind, Anna. When I wake up every day, I think, goddamn, Anna is the #1 threat to womankind on this earth.
I hear it.
Well, apparently I am.
Jeff is afraid of you too, so
I wouldn't go that far, but I do hear your complaint daily.
There you go. That's fair. We hear it. It's just like we wake up and the cats, they're like, I think Anna's going to try the women today.
I think Anna's going to destroy me. But apparently I'm a hateful, dangerous person and I need to be deplatformed.
Yeah, totally. I actually feel like personally attacked every time you talk to me. That was my favorite one was the tweet she made where this chick is YouTube. How haven't you removed this? It's been up there for 6 months now. There are things in here I would really like to never hear said about me ever again. I'm like, really, bitch? Oh, Boo fucking knew. I like literally when I'm watching your video about this, I'm saying this along with you. You read this tweet and I'm sitting there like the second before you say it, I'm like, well, bitch, if you don't want to be called a liar, maybe don't be a fucking liar.
I know, don't lie.
Right, exactly. Allie, get the fuck along, right in it with you. I'm like, I was telling Anna before the show, I'm like, I had to pause that video so many times to start screaming to Jeff and then stop myself and go, nope, save it for the matriarchy, save it for the matriarchy, save it for the matriarchy. Oh my God, this fucking, so that one drove me up a fucking wall, because not only is she bitching about like not wanting these names, I'm like, you are looking to the world to police you from being called bad names, which, by the way, weren't even being called at you. They were being put on a public forum. You had to go seek this out. You had to choose to watch this. Nobody fucking Clockwork Oranged your ass into watching this video. You had to choose to do this. So you elected to listen to somebody you knew was going to talk shit about you. You listened to the shit they talked, and then you went crying to YouTube going,
I don't even think it's calling shit.
Not even no. It's just literally.
I just said facts. I just said here's all the information, and this is how I think about it. But the reason why she saw it is because everyone was using that as an example. Because out of all of the people that did videos on her, I was the one that found that and showed that and exposed the fact that she was lying. And then also she got mad because not only was I showing that she was lying, I think it also has to do with the fact I'm a woman and I don't fit into her narrative, and I exposed the fact that she was lying.
Exactly.
Which destroys everything she's trying to build this narrative off of.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. And the other thing about it, she wants YouTube to take care of her problems. She wants the world to go take care of these problems. People called me worse shit than that in high school. I'm sure you went to my fucking face. I didn't have to go seek it out. I was bombarded with that shit every single day. And when I went home and asked my mom what to do about the fact that kids were mercilessly cruel to me in fucking elementary school, what was her advice? Her advice to me was suck it up, because they're not going to stop. You just have to learn how to get a thicker skin and realize that it's not about you. It's about them being miserable. And you're just going to have to be better and be bigger than that. That's my mom's fucking advice. So my mom wasn't trying to protect me from the world, trying to run around and stop all these people from being mean to me. My own mother is the one telling me to fucking buck up and deal with this. What the fuck right do you have to run around begging YouTube, please stop the bad people from calling me names where you don't even have to fucking hear it? Cry me a fucking river.
Mm-hmm. Right, and then she's like, people are dangerous and harassing, and it's like the only one that's doing that is you. I never said, hey, I said this Project Stardust is stupid. I never said you don't have a right to have it. Mm-hmm. I never said you shouldn't make it. I mean, I think that there's plenty of public entities out there that you could put it on for free, because the website that they're having their Project Stardust on, you have to pay for it. And Yellow Flash called it. They're like, this is going to be exactly like that thing that Arnita Sarkeesian did with the Feminist Frequency, where they start asking people for donations for this website. Unless they have somebody that's going to be a sponsor that pays for that, their ability to have their platform on that website. Yep. I think that's stupid. But they don't, I mean, it's stupid. I don't think it's necessary, because women have had a platform since the beginning, forever.
This is my platform right here. It's called my fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, you take away my platform, we'll go on the street corner and I'll reach about the same number of people. So,
well, she wants to she says, I'm a hateful, dangerous person. When it's like, you're literally calling for the to deplatform everyone that you don't agree with. And everyone who you don't like. Do you not see how dangerous that is?
You're screaming for this level of censorship that is absolutely dangerous. And there's an even next degree there that I want to bring up, but I want to go back and catch these supers because I found them. So before I lose them, we did have a few come in, but YouTube backstage is shit in the bed. But I found them from Trolley Wolf. Thank you so much for the very generous super chat. Just because you two are awesome. Thank you, Twirly Wolf. You're awesome.
And Twirly Wolf, tell your wife I absolutely love that bag. I use it and I take it everywhere with me now because it fits my iPad perfectly and like a few other books and comics and stuff. So it's so convenient. So tell her thank you.
Was that the Yoda bag?
Yeah, the baby Yoda bag.
Oh my God, that bag is awesome.
I love it.
Dude, oh, that was legit. Oh, Cameron Pasha. You know what, Cameron? You can't deplatform you because you've always got a home over here on Mindless Entertainment, so they can kick you out of wherever, but you are an officially inducted member of the Mindless Mob now, Cameron. So you always have a home here. They can't take your voice away. And thank you also, Charlie Spur, for the super chat. Ranting Jesse equals hot Jesse with a heart emoji and a fire. Thank you so much. Very sweet. You're going to get a lot of that ranting today, so strap yourselves in. And Gunnar Renee, on a completely different note. So apparently women dueling with swords and dresses was a thing back in the day, but was it more an art thing or an actual historical thing? Yeah, it was like... It was historical. It was like when women would duel, they would do it in dresses. It wasn't, they wouldn't fight, for blood or death or whatnot, but like women could learn how to fight, it was a high class thing you could learn how to do artistically. And then they would, when they did it, they would put on a show and they would do it in dresses. Yes. Because women only wore dresses. It would be very, very improper for them to wear pants. Anyhoozle, where were we? And then we had some more super chats, even more super chats roll in. So let me make sure I catch all of those before YouTube steals them away and doesn't let me see them anymore. So Hoezy, thank you so much again for super chat. Hey girls, always happy to be with you. Not related, but have you seen the edit where a legend rescored Luke's Mando scene to Binary Sunset? It is epic.
I have not, but I've heard of it. I think.
If we're pretty cool. Can we do that though? Here's what I want. I want that rescored with that team who did the face swap technology thing. I want their re-edit with their technology and that score. Then I'll be happy. Let's George Lucas this thing. It's only appropriate, right?
Heck yeah.
Doyle Hargrave says Anna needs Henry Cavill to protect her. See, that's true. You need Henry Cavill to protect you from. You need Henry Cavill to protect you. These women is what you need.
If anything, if Henry came anywhere near me, he might need some protection because I think I would I'd be drawn to him like a magnet, and I don't think he would be able to get rid of me. So
also accurate. Highly accurate. So here was the thing that really blew my mind when checking out this lovely individual's now apparently private Twitter. Let me share this real quick.
Look, she privated her account when I was doing a live stream, going through and reading all of her tweets in order. It's unprivated now.
Oh, good. That's nice. I'm glad that she's keeping such close tabs. Maybe she'll reprivate it since we're talking about her. Mm-hmm. So this is the pin post on her Twitter. Now accepting pitches. Project Stardust is here to amplify your voices, your art, however your creativity expresses your love for Star Wars. We'll show it off. You have the option to identify yourself as LGBTQ+/BIPOC. I have no idea what the BI is for, but I'm assuming person of color. Something else to do with that. So we'll see your pitches first. So what you just said is you're embracing a system in which you discriminate based on sexual identity and skin color.
Yes. Yes.
That's literally what you just said. Also, in order for somebody who is of one of these statuses to benefit from your system, you are forcing them to out themselves. Mm-hmm. You're forcing them to put the proverbial yellow star on their sleeve. Yeah, I'm choosing my words very purposefully. I'm a Jewish person. When I see anything, no matter what the intention behind it is, when I see anything that requires a minority person to identify themselves as such, I feel deeply uncomfortable. That's my gut reaction because I don't know, I've read a few history books. So that's because there's the two sides of this coin. There's the side which is that why should certain people automatically be and that's where the question starts. That's where the question started back in the 60s. Why should certain people get to be in the front of the line or the front of the bus just because of their skin color? Mm-hmm. If you impose the same practices but just reverse the skin color, it doesn't make it any better or any less discriminatory. What was that whole phrase? Separate but equal is not equal? Well, that's just this. This is just segregation. If separate but equal wasn't equal back when we tried to fix that shit in the 60s, it certainly isn't equal now. So don't go leaning into segregation in a new package, trying to tell all of us that it's somehow good and progressive. Because clearly you ain't never heard of Martin Luther King.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the shit. That's shit. Seeing this rhetoric out there and seeing people just comfortably accept it, that's the stuff that really scares me.
Well, the fact that they don't see it, and this is why I think history is so detrimental and so important, because people that don't learn history are, bound to repeat it. And that's exactly what's happening. Have you seen all of those memes going around where it's like, oh, well, we need a separate space for Black people. We need a separate space for Hispanic people. And we need to keep the white people over here. Once you start segregating, it used to be for everyone. Remember how the civil rights movement was to end segregation so that way people could drink out of the same fucking water fountain and use the same bathrooms. But now they want to have separate bathrooms for everyone. Oh, if you're Asian, you can only use this bathroom.
Why are you trying to resegregate society? How do people not realize how fucked up and backwards this is? How do they? I'm losing my fucking mind over this shit.
It's because they don't learn history. That's the problem.
It's so raw. They're fucking afraid of it because they know if they go back in time, they'll see more of themselves in the bad guys than they will in the heroes. That's why they won't. Baltimore guy, thank you for the super chat. Greetings, ladies. Don't deplatform my favorite women. Thank you, and thank you for the super chat, and thank you as always, Baltimore guy, for sending Jeff and my favorite super chat of all time. You guys are fine, comma. The man, the legend himself, Baltimore guy. That's going to be on a shirt one of these days. Just you guys are fine, comma. And Dead Man Walking 55. Thank you for this awesome super chat. Says, Jesse, great stuff here. You two are better than the guys. Saw Snyder Cut and Anna. First thing I saw on Cavill were his abs images. I got to say, I saw that and thought of you. Told my wife, and she agreed he's sexy and called me a simp. No. There you go. You're converting. You're turning them all into Cavill simps.
Good. I said before, I'm like, if I die, I'll be happy that whenever anyone sees Henry Cavill, they immediately think of me.
And that's my legacy.
And I hope if anyone sees, I mean, I have a little bit over 100,000 people that follow me. If I can convince if I can get every single one of them, whenever they see Henry Cavill, they think of me. I've done my job. I'm done.
I love your fucking modesty. You're like, I've got a little over 100,000 people. You're like, what you should be saying is I've got a little under 200,000 people, but whatever.
I know, but I'm trying to be like, trying not to jinx it.
I hear you. Trust me.
I had like a mental goal of when I wanted to get there.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to say it because I'll jinx myself, and then I'll get down the YouTube algorithm hell, and it'll just freeze everything.
Yeah, you'll just come down.
I do need to talk to you about because I found out some information you will find interesting.
Ooh, I'm excited. You can just party in the slums with me. So it's actually really exciting because it's really fun watching my my algorithm rubber band snap, the subscriber snap because of the shadow ban, which is, for those who aren't aware, my channel has been functionally shadow banned it'll be 2 years in July. And so this really cool thing happened, which is that I will put out a video and my channel will grow a little bit. I will do an awesome live stream like this one and people will show up and subscribe. Like, oh my God, thank you. We have a bunch of new subscribers here. So welcome everybody who's new. But that awesome number that just jumped up a huge amount, it jumped up about 30 or so since we started the stream. That's going to snap back, actually almost 40. That's going to go right back to the exact number it was yesterday by this time next week. Guaranteed. It's been doing that for a fucking year. It's magical. It's exciting to watch.
I know why now.
I should take screenshots because it's really,
you should.
Yeah. Because it's
let's just say I found out that certain people, me and you included, along with a lot of other people, got put on this list that certain people have. So if there's problems with certain things that were never problems before, it has to do with this list that certain people, me and you, and a few others are on.
That is intriguing. Gotta be intrigued. I'm here for the gossip.
Trust me, I it's not gossip, it's real.
Oh well, I mean that's
if I could get my hands on this list,
this will be a thing. I'm excited. That's the thing. As wonderful and awesome as the Matriarchy is, and as fun of a show as it is, the before and after show is usually way more interesting. So.
The off-air before and after thing that you and I, where me and you just catch up on bullshit that people are doing.
Oh, it's so fun. So the other thing that really, and I'm so done. I'm so done with this. Believe all women. And then the second a woman says something you don't like, well, not her. She's part of the Matriarchy. This is fucking once again, history. The Greeks debunked this shit with their philosophizing back then. This is a basic logical fallacy. If you make a statement, so statement A, right? In this case, statement A is believe all women. Statement A, we're saying statement A is something is true, right? So if here's the way the logic progresses. Statement A is true. Any statement that conflicts statement A is false because statement A is true, right? So believe all women, we're telling you this thing, we're telling you this thing. Well, we're having women that say that it's not correct. Well, there must be a reason that it's not. Okay, so anytime a woman doesn't fit your narrative, it's because they've been brainwashed by the patriarchy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If your argument, though, and your fact-based logic has no ability to be refuted, it is not logic. It is not facts. So an argument that cannot be refuted, or it can only be discussed in tautological ways, which is, it goes back in on itself. Well, believe all women. Well, you're a woman, but I'm not believing you. I'm not believing you because you're brainwashed by the patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. There's no way for you to possibly win or get out of this logical loop. It is not logic. It is not factual. If you cannot defend your position using real rhetoric, it is not facts. It is not logic. It's so basic, and yet they're just running around fucking pulling the wool over people's eyes left and right with this nonsense. Like, just think for 5 seconds, and the shit collapses in on itself. End of story. You follow this logic. Okay, well, we can't believe any women who are part of the patriarchy. Okay, well, who decides who's part of the patriarchy? The people who aren't part of the patriarchy. Okay, well, how do you know if you're part of the patriarchy or not? Well, we'll tell you. Well, how do we know that you're not, and you're not just brainwashed by the patriarchy telling us things? Because the reality is the people who are deeply brainwashed by the patriarchy are these fucks, because the world that they create is one that gives absolutely no agency to women whatsoever. Because in this woman's world, women are either these weak, pathetic creatures that need safe spaces in order to have fandoms, or we need men's permission to participate in the fandoms. I'm so fucking sick to death of having it insinuated to me that I needed some man to one day tell me, okay, my dad was probably the one who put in the Star Wars VHS. Yeah, I need my dad's fucking permission, I guess, to be a Star Wars fan. But beyond that, no fucking men were the ones that told me I could or couldn't like Star Wars. Fucking
well, I even said this, Jesse, and I'm like, when a parent is involved, because I've seen that thing where it's like, well, the parent turned on, that way they gave you permission. No, it's like, there's a difference between getting permission to be a fan or getting permission to watch something, because as a parent, you have to make that executive decision on how well you know your child and their fears. Because I remember I said this, my cousin couldn't watch Star Wars with me because my aunt knew that they would get nightmares. Like Darth Vader would scare them. I watched Star Wars when I was very young. And I remember even some of my friends weren't allowed to watch Star Wars until they were older. It's like, are you going to show a little kid Jaws? Probably not, because they're going to get nightmares. They're going to have it's going to be traumatizing, and they're going to not want to go in the water. Like, I remember my stepdaughter, I showed her Alita and she got scared, which is fine. It's like sometimes kids can't differentiate, even though they know it's make-believe, it still scares them. Yeah. And so your dad turning on the VHS, that's not him giving you permission to be a Star Wars fan. That's him acknowledging, oh, I think you might be old enough and mature enough to handle this.
Damn straight. And when I went to school, nobody else was a Star Wars fan. I actually befriended one of the biggest weirdos in kindergarten, simply because he was the only other person who knew Boba Fett was. And he didn't give me fucking permission. In fact, it was more like the other way around. I was like, I'm giving you permission to be my friend, because fucking kindergarten was the last time in school I was one of the cool kids. I'm like, I'm giving you permission to be my friend, even though like clearly it's been me and this other really cool best friend it's just been the two of us since forever. You get to be part of this, and not even you and I could have our own thing with Star Wars. I was the fucking gatekeeper for the guy, if anything. And I wasn't gatekeeping. It was just like, oh my God, there was no gatekeeping involved. It was just like, holy shit, we both love Star Wars. Let's hang out together. This kid was like dorky and had kind of a lisp. And honestly, like the fact that I also like Star Wars made him cooler. So fuck you all. I was the one with the power. Miss, you need a safe space. And yes, by the way, I see someone a straw man in the chat saying, aren't women supposed to be strong? Thank you. If we're fucking so OP strong that we can run around just punching holes through walls all day long and jizzing force all over the place like Ray fucking Palpatine, then we shouldn't need all of these structures built for us to help us be that. Like, if we were able to be subjugated by the patriarchy for so long, I guess we're pretty weak and fucking pathetic. And what makes us think we're suddenly have the strength to overthrow it now? Yeah, all these people, nothing they say makes sense.
Nope, it doesn't. Nothing. And this is the thing. All you have to do is present truth, present facts, present that, and their entire argument goes away. It gets completely lost, because guess what? When you base your entire argument, when you base your entire building on lies, it's going to fall down the second it's presented with the truth. It's like the 3 little pigs. Okay, you build your house of straw. The second that there's going to be a windstorm, it's going to blow away.
Exactly. Cameron, I don't know if you knew that this existed, but I don't know if we talked about it. I think we did talk about this, but
oh, the forced jizzing.
Yeah.
Yes, that's been around for a long time.
It's the very first Mindless Entertainment t-shirt. And actually we did the whole deep dive because Cody, the guy who designed it, was on the stream last night. So we did the whole fucking deep dive, the story of how that came to be, including the video where I made all the ridiculous faces that you totally might want to, that everyone got to vote on. And it was a group effort. Democracy reigns supreme here. Yeah, you should buy it, Cameron. I'll post a link to my links to my Teespring are all in my Linktree and all that stuff. So you can pop over there and catch my t-shirts. There will be mindless mob ones there really soon too. I'm really, really excited for those. They're mobster style, so Anna will hate them. They're Godfather style. Yeah. Still though, my most popular t-shirt of all time continues to be the one that you drew.
Yay, good. I like that one. Maybe I'm biased because I did it, but I like it.
I like it too. I'm a pretty big fan. So
that one.
That's pretty great. Alan Reese, thank you for the super chat. Let's make love, not war. There's so much emotion on the stream. You girls might get heart attacks with the stress level. This is set with love. Alan Reese, I appreciate, but it's funny you mentioned that though. This is how I de-stress. I carry so little of this stress with me because I vent it all out.
It's very cathartic that you just vent and express what's frustrating you, and since you let it out, it's no longer that weight on your shoulder anymore.
Exactly. The best part is it's like usually this is the stuff, the screaming into pillows and whatever things that you do in private. But hell, I get to turn on a camera, scream at the top of my lungs about this shit. You guys seem to really enjoy it. We all have fun together. And then it becomes cathartic for everybody, for those of you who don't have the lung capacity or a situation or whatever to just throw down and shout in your own day to day. I've heard so many people tell me how cathartic it is to listen to me do it. I'm like, great. If you can't, or it's not your thing, but you get the same value from having me do it, then we're all healthier, right? It's like meditation. Meditation is not the absence of having thoughts. It's the ability to just let them pass through you like a stream without holding on to any single one of them. That's how I live my anger, right? It just comes and it goes. It comes, it flows up, it explodes, and then it's over. It dissipates, it's gone. I don't hold on to that shit. Science has shown holding on to anger is actually physically toxic for you. It creates toxins in your body that are not good for you. So I let all mine go. I feel it. I can't help but feeling it. Like there's no way to not feel it. You feel your feelings. That's just life. So when I feel it, I just let it fucking go. There you go. Some people get scared. That's okay.
Yeah.
I legitimately had somebody tell me I was doing like I was thinking of singing a metal song on one of my streams, and they're like, "Please stop scaring me," and I'm like, "I don't care." Stevie says their arguments are so full of holes they whistle every time the wind blows. That's
very true.
So fucking true. Also, thank you for the super chat, Sweet Pea. I love having you here. Ha! Strawman just exploded. Lol. Charlie Spurs says, Jesse, do you intentionally keep your hair long just enough to flip it for emphasis? Lol. Kind of. I used to, funny story, I used to always get it cut so that I used to get it like full on, about half an inch, spiked it up. It was very punk rock. And that was my look. And I would let it grow until it would grow to like about this length, honestly. And then I would get it cut back down again to that length and then rinse and repeat the cycle. And I enjoyed that for a long time. But then I got to a point where I was trying to decide, I did like the things I really liked when it got longer is it flips around. It has more style and personality to it. It's got a little swoosh. When you headbang, you get some floof to it. But I also really, really love the close cropped look. I love the sharp angles on my face. And I also love being able to just spike it up sometimes. So I kept asking people too, like, which do you want? Do you think I should keep it a little longer like this? Or do you think I should keep it a little shorter like this? And everyone was kind of split on it. They're like, I really love it super short. And they're like, keep it long like that. And so I was like, fuck it, let's do both. And thus the asymmetrical hair was born. And so, yes, part of keeping the long is to have the flipping options, the fussing options, etc., etc. And to 90% of the audience happy and delighted to see how much and often I'll flip and fuss with it and to watch me go to war with it constantly. And then the other 10% that is driven so crazy they can't actually look at me when I'm recording a video. They have to just listen and hope the flips go away.
Hey, Jesse, did you know apparently I'm a man?
Oh, cool. That's new to me.
Yeah, apparently, guys, I'm a man, which is why everything that's been happening with me getting deplatformed, they're not giving me the time of day because apparently I'm actually a white man in disguise. Well, but then by their own logic, isn't it like you're basically crucified if you say anything about somebody that's trans? So by their own logic, they think that I'm a man pretending to be a girl.
So they think you're a trans woman. And so what they're trying to say is that trans women don't have women's rights because they're secretly just white men.
Apparently.
That's interesting. Well, Ramesh C. Scott says, I love your energy, Jesse. I first discovered you when the Solo movie came out. Hair flipping is great. Well, that was a well-timed super chat. Woo. Thank you. Appreciates. And then Jury Nitpicker, thank you so much for the super chat. Jess, I've often wondered why you move your hair so much. Well, busted my knee, been out of work for a few months. My hair is about the same length, and I see why now. Can't stop massaging my head now. Dude, okay, my hair is so fucking soft, too. So if you had yours might be as well. That may be why you're like all over. You're like, oh my God, it's long and it's soft. If you have soft hair, it's just like, it's fun to touch. But then you touch it, and it's soft, and then it gets messed up, and you're like, oh. And if I can't see it, it's whatever. I don't know what it's doing. But if I can see it constantly, then I see when every little piece falls or does something, and then I want to move it and fuss with it. And it's like a toy. It's there. I fidget with it. It's like my hair is my built-in fidget spinner.
I fidget with my hair too. I feel like I just don't do it as much as you because I'm always constantly fucking with my hair. You know?
Yeah, but long hairs have the advantage.
Huh?
Long hairs have the advantage because a lot of the stuff you do, you could like, if you're twirling the ends or doing any of that stuff, no one even notices.
Yeah, yours is like all up in your face.
Mine's, yeah, because my hand's like in the face, it's here, and then it's like, the thing is when I yell too, especially at this length, then it just gets like that, and it gets ridiculous. It's a whole thing. I'm about it though. I like it. It ain't never gonna change. I let people get upset about it, like, fix your hair. I'm like, fuck you, die. Like, actually die. Like, I don't care. Tell me something else horrible about me. Like, you're ugly and you look like a lesbian. Okay. Fix your hair. Fall off a cliff, please. Jeez. That's the one where I'm like, don't say everyone.
It's like, just for that, I'm gonna hair flip more.
That's exactly. Every time someone's like, don't touch your hair, I'm like, oh, you didn't want me to? I'm sorry. Was there something I was doing that was upsetting you? That's nice. Okay, cool.
I mean, you know what's funny is it doesn't even bother me the amount that you touch your hair. Like, I don't care. I mean, I'm a girl. I know what struggle's real.
Struggle is real. The struggle is so real. Like that person's struggle out there. That's the thing I come back to. I always find so fascinating about the people that want to tear you down. It always comes back to the same thing, right? Especially the women who want to come out and start ripping you apart are women who either have demonstrated a very, very intense valuation in material things, or a complete lack of physical beauty, and have attempted to get audiences and failed, and do this thing where they're like, well, how dare you, Anna? How dare you be good looking and also interesting and also popular, and god damn it, you are an artist too. No, you're not allowed to have skills, Anna. That's just not fair. It is so deeply rude of you to have all of those things when there are just so many women out there who are ugly both inside and out. And that's what it really comes down to. It's plain, you see it no matter what. It's plain and simple fucking envy. When people want to go to the ends of the earth to cancel you and ruin you and wreck you, it's because you have something that they want and will never have, probably. And the crazy part is they also are people who don't understand or realize that that the grass is always greener is a phrase that exists for a reason.
Yeah.
You know? Like, hey, they found you to hate on you. Guess what? So do they're not unique. They're not the first person to find you and start trying to hate on you, deplatform you, tell you you're all these horrible things or whatever. And when they shut down, this is what just always blows my mind. It's like you freaked out over this much attention, over this much backlash.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're chasing fame? What the fuck do you think you're gonna do when you got Anna levels of hate coming at you? Because I don't think you realize, bitch, just how well Anna handles that shit. Just how well some of us weather some of the bullshit we're put through. You especially. And like you,
well, that's the thing. I would like to see this girl go through what I did summer of last year.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, now it's going to be 2 years.
Wow, yeah. Exactly.
Which is crazy. So for those of you that don't know, my sister went missing and she died. And after that, there are some terrible, terrible, terrible people out there that decided to make memes of my sister and make fun of the fact that she died and meme the fact that she was cremated with memes of her ashes. I would like to see any of these fuckers that oh my God, a girl presented truth. I was lying, a girl showed truth. I would like to see these assholes deal with that shit because I'm past the point where it makes me cry. Like, it makes me physically angry,
Dude, I can, like, your eyes are like burning with it. And it would make me fucking sick. And that's the whole shit. She is throwing a goddamn tantrum because, your video that called me out for being a liar, which you fucking are, didn't get taken down. It's still out there. It's still out there waiting for me. I could be called a liar again. And you went through that shit. You went through that fucking hell and you're still fucking here and still taking it and still dealing with people who won't let that shit go, who think that's fair game and fair territory for them to run all over. And you are still
the thing is, there's terrible people out there on the internet, and guess what? They will stoop to the lowest of low because they want to get an emotional response. I mean, my friend Cecil said it best. It's like, you can say what you want about the mob and like the mobster movies, but they like, if there's one thing, like even with gangsters and stuff like that, even prisoners, you don't fuck with somebody's family, especially ones that have just passed. Like if you were in prison, somebody would kill you for that.
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole thing. That was even historically how they would get mobsters to flip. Is they would take them in when they got them booked on something and they wanted them to flip on the gang. They would basically say, we are going to either you tell us this and we put you and your family in witness protection, or we leak to the mob that you're talking and they kill your family. Mm-hmm. And they would fucking flip. They would turn them that way. That's how you did it. Like family is everything. That was how they would get with the mobsters, where the family you have with each other is everything. Blood still means more. You see that time and time again. That's real life.
Well, like you don't fuck with somebody's paycheck and you don't fuck with their family.
No, you just
going out of your way to do terrible things to my sister after she's passed and say terrible things about her when she's missing, and then say terrible things about her once she's passed, to get a reaction out of me. Yeah. You're a sick, fucked up person. Meg wouldn't be able to handle that. She would lose her mind. Dude, I almost did lose my mind.
Meg can't handle you reading her tweets live.
I know.
She could not handle the shit that you've been through. No question. And that's the thing. It's like people are so quick to try to tear other people down because they think you deserve it somehow. It's like they don't know. They don't know what anybody else. You don't know what anyone else has been through. So before you want to open your mouth to tear somebody down because you think their life needs to be a little rougher, you think they deserve some of the hate and vitriol from your own unhappiness thrown onto them, stop and fucking think, because you don't fucking know. I guarantee you Miss Meg ain't been through shit compared to you. So I don't know her story. I'm sure she's had her own struggles, and I'm sure they are very real to her, and I'm sure they're very important to her, and I'm sure there are some things that are legitimate, that anyone else would go, oh my God, that's tough, and oh, it sucks that you had to deal with that. But guess what? Every fucking person has been through shit like that, and seriously, when you can't handle being called a liar, do not fucking throw stones at other people.
Well, this is what I do when I approach situations. If I look at it and I say, if I can't handle it, then I don't expect somebody else to. But if I look at that and I say, I can handle this, no problem. And okay, maybe, yes, I can handle this, but it's going to be hard as hell. If I look at it and I see that I can handle it, then so should you. And I hold everyone to the same standard that I hold myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's fair.
I think it's completely fair. There's nothing fairer than that. It's about the fairest thing you can possibly fucking do. Holy shit, super chats are rolling in. So let me grab onto these.
Over 200 people watching. Please smash the like button.
Whoa! Oh my god, we over 200 likes, dude. So thank you. All right. Wow. Okay, getting behind now. You guys are amazing. All right, so I've invested in. Thank you, Tree Nitpicker. Says I've invested in Paul Mitchell Tea Tree. OMG.
Me too.
Is that panning? That sounds exciting. Is that panning out?
I don't think did I talk about that on air one time? I had to get this new shampoo because I got my hair done, and it's Paul Mitchell Tea Tree.
Oh, is that your new shampoo?
I don't think I ever said that on air though.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you did. Maybe Trey Nitpicker.
Well, good. Hey, we're on the same hair regimen, except mine is like for colored hair.
Maybe he just saw your hair and could just tell that's what you were using. El Gallo de Oro, thank you for the super chat. Says congratulations on transitioning, Anna. He, them in parentheses with a big smiley face. So thank you.
I'm a girl.
Thank you, El Gallo de Oro. And just so we're clear, guy, I actually have not had to identify as a man in almost a year now, actually. Because I haven't been in an airport since then. So for those who don't know, I consistently get misgendered in airports. So I thought for everyone's ease, I'll just identify as a man when I'm at the airport. So that's real. You were with me for one of them, right?
Yeah. When we were leaving Chicago.
Yep. Excuse me, sir. Fuck you.
And I'm just like, she's obviously a girl, but what?
Tennis! Oh,
I know. It's short. You weren't wearing any makeup and you had short hair and glasses.
And I was wearing, probably I wear jackets and shit to travel in. I get it. I get it, but I don't. Like, because I've had so many people. I get it, but I have so many people telling me, like, Jesse, I don't know. I show them the pictures from when I was misgendered, and they're like, yeah, I would never in a million years think you were a guy. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's just funny. Don't
worry about it.
Thank you for the super chat, Sweet V. If Anna's a man, then I'm a dinosaur who survived extinction. Sounds about right. And I can attest to the fact that you're definitely not a dinosaur. I have pictures to prove it. Oh, thank you, Stephanie Janacek, or Stephanie Janacek, Smuggler's Cantina says, girls, here's something for the coffers. Thank you, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for looking out. Ladies got to stick together. And then we have Dreary Nitpicker again, who says, I feel like, did I miss it? Okay, I didn't miss it. It says, yeah, there we go. Okay. Where? Okay. I'm scrolling up and down and losing it. As everyone knows, you watched my stream last night. I'm functionally technologically retarded, so just bear with me. And like Anna makes thumbnails for me sometimes. It's embarrassing. She's like, hey, Jesse, I noticed your thumbnails suck. Here's a better one.
I've never said they suck. I just say, I think this is a better presentation.
That is accurate.
But here's the thing. I don't think you have Photoshop. And I'm like a Photoshop expert, so...
No, you are. It's great. No, I totally see that. And for the record, when you do see one of my thumbnails that does look really good, Jeff probably made it because he also has Photoshop. But Drew Nitpicker says, if I was King Solomon, I'd let you both be one of my 700 plus wives. Just an FYI. Anna painted a portrait of Bowie. Was going to give it to you, but it's but it's what? Where is it? What is it?
Too big. We'll say that it's too big to ship.
Do we get to at least see it at some point? But it's my best work. So sorry.
Oh no, dude, keep it. Absolutely. Keep it and make prints and put it on t-shirts because people will buy Bowie. I actually did. I actually have it right here. Let me grab it.
Yeah. Just make a nice print of it and send it to Anna.
So I need to fix them because I was I never paint with acrylics, but I was experimenting. And so it's like I did. So it's like metallic-y, you see? So,
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. And I was actually making these for myself for my house. And I was going to get like cool frames, but it's like his 3.
Those are really nifty.
Thanks.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I still might frame them or something.
I'm about that. You should. You 1000%.
Maybe
should.
I'll make prints. They're not very good, I don't think, but
I think they look really cool. I like the style.
they were just experiments.
I always like any kind of I love like color style thing, like things that have like really specific color. I don't know how you would call it. You would use the artist words, like a color vision,
Vibrancy,
like I don't know how you would say it, like where it's like specific, like the artist is specifically doing something with color contrast and stuff.
Oh, why I know this word.
I probably don't even know the words. So.
No, what is this word? What is it? Oh my God, I know this word. How am I blanking? I pride myself in being an expert on color theory. Why am I blanking?
I just know I like.
It starts with a C. It starts with the complementary colors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When they're the opposite sides of the color wheel. Yeah. Yes. No. It makes everything just pop really nicely. J Mation Entertainment, thank you for the super chat. Says, hey Jesse, I was emailing you last year about some voice acting stuff for a project, but COVID and life got in the way. Sent you a DM on Instagram, still interested in working together, sending good vibes. Woo! Oh my God, yes. Yes, I remember there was a period where I was like, oh no, I hope everything's cool because we have been chatting and then I hadn't heard back. I'm so glad you're still working on that though, because I was really, really excited about it. It's an animation project, et cetera. I'll get back to you. I'll check the DMs and get back to you, and definitely still interested. So yes, you guys, Mindless Mob, stay tuned because you'll obviously be hearing more about that as it's moving forward. So wow. Thank you again for the love, Stephanie Janacek, Smugglers, Cantina. Meg has never thought through anything. I'll tell you guys a story sometime. I like story time. Sweet Pete, thank you again for the super chat. The HOV lane for hell opens up swiftly for people who dishonor the dead. Damn straight. Pack those cars in and send them in the fast lane. Hard because the history corner is here. Thank you for the super chat. It says generally these are people who haven't been smacked for anything in their life. Bulldozer parents are serious problems. Yep, true story. They had parents like mine who said you're gonna have to suck it up because people suck. They might not be bitches in real life anymore. Oh my God, Will Gentry! Thank you for the super chat.
Will, I hope you're doing well. Will, I don't know if you know Jesse. Will is currently we
have been
I hope you're doing well, Will. I really do.
Yes. He says, what up, ladies? Had a really bad day yesterday, but today was good. Dead on my feet now, though. Off for sleep. Nice to see you cussing someone out. Oh, Will. I'm glad I could give you that laugh. But yeah, Will is detoxing from heroin right now. So huge deal for him. He, it was awesome to come out and just, put that out there for the community and invite people to be part of that healing process. That's been huge. And I've been seeing some of all the community, like just so super supporting him and all that stuff. Have you been keeping up on it as well?
A little bit that I can catch, but again, from what I've seen, he's got a lot of support.
It's really awesome.
I'm happy for him that he has a support system that, and that's one of the best things about this community. Like when Ellen went missing and everything that happened, the entire community was there for me, and seeing, everyone come together and be there for Will during this, which also it's incredibly brave for him to, talk about this with other people and share this, because I don't even know if I would be brave enough to talk about something like that. And I don't like asking for help for things. So for him to do that, it's really brave of him.
Yeah. And it's an enormous commitment. And it's something you see from people who are really ready to go on that path to recovery, when they're willing to come out and say it to everyone that they care about. You create an accountability group. It's not about people having an expectation for you. It's when you tell everyone you love and care about that I'm going to do this thing, you create an expectation for yourself to follow through for them. And even though this is always for you, and it's always going to be about your own process, something like that is just a really, really bold step in basically announcing and declaring that you're ready to, not be that person anymore. So nothing but love and support for Will, and love for the community for coming together again to support one of its members. Jury Nitpicker says, same portrait, Anna. Ziggy Stardust, Thunderbolt. It's tie-dye, though. I'm not a painter, and I still can't believe I painted it. I used an airbrush and model paint. Lol, how do you make prints? Hi, Jeff. Lol.
You find, just type in website, art prints, and find the one that you like best.
Yar. Anna's really good at that. Ooh, I'm not an artist at all, but Jeff's been giving me pointers here and there, and I'll sit down like on a weekend if I'm not doing something else, and I'll like, I took a picture of Japan cake and I decided to draw it, and this was my result. So.
Kitty cat. Why is it blue?
Because he has a lot of really prominent white, and so I was like, I'll use blue. I had new pens in colors, and I was like, I'll use colors.
Okay.
So Jeff says I should get a whiteout pen. So. But what do you think?
I think it's good for considering, no offense, what you showed me like months ago.
Oh yeah, right? Like compared to,
I think it's getting better. I think what I would recommend, how you filled it in with blue, I would say just do the rims in blue.
Oh.
And because actually when you have a warm light source, your shadows, like right here, right next to my face, that's a shadow. I was painting it and my light source is warm. Then the shadows are going to be cool. And if the light source is cool, the shadows are going to be warm. So when you have white fur, a lot of times people don't even use white. They might use white to mix, but a lot of times it's yellows or blues.
Okay. So maybe like a lighter, like a yellowy kind of thing, and then throw the blue on the edges or nothing at all and just use the blue.
Well, just if you wanted to do it with the blue, just like where the outlines are, maybe show where like the shadows would be and do it with the blue.
Cool.
And then leave the rest of it empty.
Neat. I'm going to try that on my next pass, because that's the part that's sort of the hardest to get with him when you're just like sketching it out, is that little really specific white fur. Thank you. This is literally how I've been learning, is like Jeff will give me little pointers. Now I got some from you. And like everyone, so I'll just solicit like a pointer here and there on one thing, and then the next pass at it, I'm like, that's the thing I'll implement.
Well, I've learned that if you really want to learn a skill, especially when you're at, instead of being forced to learn something, when you're actually interested, if you master one thing at a time, eventually all of that is going to become, you put one brick down and it's eventually going to be a bridge or a wall or whatever it is you're building. But if you get everything at once, it's overwhelming.
Exactly.
So now that you know whatever it is that Jeff told you, now you know what I told you, that's another brick. So master that, and then the next time you show something, there might be another thing for you to learn.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's really fun because I don't have an end goal here. I'm never going to be an artist like you where I'm producing like work that I'm selling and stuff like that.
You don't know that. You might.
That's true. But I have no intentions or plans for that. So it's nice because like there's no.
You want to know something, Jesse? You're better than I was when I went to art school.
Really?
Like before I went to art school. Yeah. I used to think of myself as like this great artist. And then I went to art school and I was like.
I also know. I am definitely like, and this is what Jeff's been helping me with. I'm in that place where like I have a good eye for copy. So, but I have zero basis or technique for freehand drawing. So there's like, I'll show you by comparison. Let's see if I can pull that up. I won't bore you guys too much with my horrible sketches, but so one of the things I freehand the best is something I just seen and drawn, like practice drawing, is horses. So this is like without copying from anything. That's just a horse face.
Because you know what a horse looks like.
So I know what it looks like. It's pretty good, good for that, for someone who sucks at drawing. But then like, that's about the level of quality you're going to get from me out of a dolphin.
Hey, and Jesse, you know what? That's completely normal. Every single artist will tell you need to have reference. Unless you have a photorealistic memory, just drawing offhand, and if you want to do an illustration, drawing offhand probably won't be the best idea for you unless you've had years of experience and you know it, like anatomy, like if you know it like the back of your hand. But with like even a dolphin, I wouldn't be able to freehand a dolphin. I would have to look up a picture of a dolphin because I don't really draw sea creatures. But what I would suggest is if you see something around you, draw it and just practice drawing different things, shapes first. And every single thing in this world is made out of shapes. Like my arms are made out of cylinders. My face is a circle. My body is a cylinder or a cube.
That's what Jeff keeps telling me. He says he's looking and starts seeing people in the shapes that they are too. Yeah, it's so fun. It's like, it's really neat, like listening to the way you guys talk about all this, and then just practicing a little bit, you know, myself. It's neat because I'm like, I'm starting to understand your world a little more, you know. And like I always talk about with nerd stuff where I don't always speak all the languages, but I understand most of them. It feels like I'm starting to learn how to understand your language a little better. Like I don't know if I'll ever speak it fluently, but I'm starting to be able to understand it a little bit, and it's exciting.
Well, so I just had this kind of epiphany the other week because I got a logo guy to do my campaign because I hated everything I created. I'm like, I know, you know, Ethan knows this guy and everyone, you know, uses this guy because he's absolutely fantastic. So I got in touch with him, and then he needed to know my story. So I was explaining to him because he's going to be designing it. And I showed him because I've been outlining this comic, right, that I'm working on, which you know the story. So I showed him my outlines, and he said, I think what you're having trouble with is, he's like, you're not a comic book artist, you're a director. Everything you're showing me is you're seeing this like it's a movie, and these are the shots, and you even have the lighting. He's like, you're directing this. And he's like, maybe that's why you know, because I told him, and I told John this the other day on stream, I'm like, I hate doing covers. I hate doing pinups. What I like to do is these rough storytelling. I get like, I know what this moment is in this story, and I like to draw it. And even if it's not, it's just rough right now, I can go in and I can finish it. But that I like doing the sequential, let me tell the story, because I like telling stories. And then when he told me that, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's right. That's why I've hated, like, I hate character design. I hate environment design. When I'm putting the story together, I see everything that I want. But even like designing my characters, I hate it. You know? And so I'm like, that's actually right. And then I thought more about that conversation we had like 10 matriarchies ago. Remember when we started coming up with that story? And I was like, that was the most fun I've had in like a year.
That was so much fun.
It was really cool. And I'm like, that actually is the stuff that I like to do. And so I was like, I think he's right.
Well,
I was like, I think what I'll do is I'll draw this comic myself first, just so I do it. And then seeing how much time it takes, I think after the first one, I'll do all the outlines because that's what I enjoy doing. But then I'll be able, hopefully after my first comic launch, after that, I'll be able to use the profit from that to hire an artist to do the part 2 and part 3.
Because that's something I've noticed too. Like a lot of people who really have a passion for comics but aren't artists, like, you know, so they're the ones who write and storyboard it out and stuff, and the credit is the writers and creators, but don't draw. Most of them are still pretty good artists. They're just, Gerard Way comes to mind, who did Umbrella Academy, and he was frontman of MCR for many, many years, but he draws. Like all of the Umbrella Academy stuff is based off of his art, his sketches and stuff that he was writing and drawing for years. And when it came time to actually produce it into a book, he hired a professional because, you know, it just, that wasn't the level or the type or the style of stuff that he can do. And I think like it's really cool at some point to realize. That's what I love about like filmmaking too, that's been one of the things for me, is like realizing that it is good to know how to do every piece, but just because you know how to do every piece and have spent the time to learn it to help you, you don't have to be an expert at every piece. Like for me, the moment in filmmaking when I realized I don't have to be the world's greatest editor, somebody else can do that for me, I was like, oh my fucking God. Because if I like the thing I'm working on, I don't mind editing at all. I actually really, really enjoy it. And I don't mind learning all the difficult pieces to add special effects and stuff like that. But if it's like tedium, or if it's I got to comb through 1,000,001 shots to find the right one, and I got to do a lot of work to fix problems with things and all that, then I just want to tear my hair out. I'm no Richard Chew, goddammit, but you can listen to him talk about what he does on my channel.
Well, I was thinking about that because you wouldn't do that Oscar stream, and I was looking at those movies, and I'm like, I don't want to watch any of these fucking movies. And I was like, fuck. I told Jesse I would go on this stream and I would love to meet Richard Chew, but I'm like, this is gonna be hell watching. I'm like, this is every single movie, and I'm looking at it, and yeah, this is me just watching the trailer, looking at the titles and everything, and I'm like, this is like, if somebody wanted to torture me for information, they would make me watch these fucking movies. And then I'm like, oh my God, remember back when years ago when Lord of the Rings Return of the King came out and that like dominated the Oscars? I'm like, wow, that's when I looked like I wanted to watch those movies. I wanted to watch those Oscar list of movies. There's not a single Oscar nominated movie that I want to see this year.
The year that The Big Short won.
Which one was that?
It was the housing crisis one with Steve Carell and this and that. Or did Spotlight win over that? Maybe Spotlight went over that for Best Picture. I know it won something. It was a good year. Spotlight was in it. The Big Short. This other film, 99 Homes. I don't know if it was in the Best Picture running, but I ended up seeing it. It was incredible. It was a year where it was like a lot of these. There were politically centered movies, but they were about they weren't about politics. They were about current events from the past 10 years or so. Now that's like the whole thing and everyone's doing it and redoing it. But it was the thing that started. It was like the last thing in my memory where we had a wave of a new sort of style of movie.
People are saying Spotlight won.
Good. Huh?
Spotlight won.
That one was, and that I was so thrilled to see that.
I think I remember the poster, but what was it?
That was the one about the team of reporters who brought down the whole Catholic Church sex scandal thing.
Oh, I think I
Mark
watched
Ruffalo
it, and I don't remember any of it.
It was. I was really compelled. I remember.
Wait, was Rachel McAdams in that?
Maybe. I think maybe. I just remember Mark Ruffalo.
Chat. Was Rachel McAdams in Spotlight?
Thanks. She might have. There was one famous chick, and it might have been.
Because I remember that there was a girl, and she went to go interview someone. I remember standing in front of a car and then in a doorway.
Probably. Sounds very specific.
Yes, people are saying yes. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was there were some solid movies. And then it's it's a COVID year, so things were weird, but it's really they just look boring. Mr. Other says, I hope you ladies are doing well as can be expected. Thank you, Mr. Another. I would love to see you here. Love your support. Mazer is showing support today. Thank you. I'm quiet much of the time, but I love this show. Please keep doing it. And Anna, I love the anti-gangster movie banter last night on the High Council.
Thank you.
Oh dear.
I know. Here's the thing, guys. I get it. There are some genres that I don't like. There's just some. Like, Jesse, what are your 3 favorite genres?
Action. Fantasy.
Could you give an example of each movie from that genre too?
So Lord of the Rings, my top fantasy. Star Wars up there for fantasy. Mission Impossible 2 is probably my hands down favorite.
I've never seen it.
Favorite action movie, like a dork.
Gladiator. Though.
What? Yes, that's the one that everyone shits on and hates, and I will defend it to the ends of the earth. I don't care. It is a good movie. Fuck you. There's only a couple of deeply compromising John Woo shots, but it's largely excellent. It's largely a masterpiece. And thank you, Mazers. I believe I always really enjoy your contributions on Twitter. So thank you for.
Wait. So it was action, fantasy. What was the third one?
Action, fantasy. I don't know. It might be gangster. Gangster movies are up there for me.
Crime.
Like crime movie, crime, gangster. That's pretty high.
Yeah, because there's suspense, crime and stuff. Yeah, I think I like. You know what's funny? As I was actually thinking about it, and I'm like, I actually, aside from a few movies, there's a lot of sci-fi movies that I don't like because I don't think they're done very well, and I feel like sci-fi is a genre that the books are far superior to films.
Yeah.
So as far as sci-fi, I prefer books to films.
I think sci-fi television has largely been better because it's able to explore a lot of sci-fi themes without being as limited by the technological, limitations.
Yes, like Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly.
The Star Trek series are all better than the movies, except for a few.
Exceptions.
Nothing can hold a candle to the Wrath of Khan, and then Kirk later, let them die. So good. But because if I had to snap something out of existence, it would 100% be gangster movies. I just don't like it. And
gangster movie. You actually legally can't anymore, Anna, because I'm writing one. So
okay, well, hopefully I like yours.
You don't have to like it. You don't even have to watch it. You just can't snap it out of existence.
Okay. That'll be the only one to exist.
That's the deal. That's a totally fine deal for me. You don't have to like it. You don't even have to watch it as long as you let it exist.
Movies that I'm trying to think of movies that I like that a lot of people don't like. Okay, Labyrinth might not be for everyone. David Bowie in tights singing with puppets might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I love it. I love Jim Henson movies. Yeah, I have a friend, she hates Jim Henson movies, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? You know, I've met plenty of adults. I like watching animated movies. I know plenty of adults that don't like. One of my favorite movies is The Prince of Egypt. I think that movie is close to a masterpiece.
I think it's a great movie, but I watched it so many times in Hebrew school, and that song at the end drives me crazy.
Okay, see, I think after the plagues, I think that they maybe should have let them off in the distance with that. The Whitney Houston and what's her name, Mariah Carey song. I hate that song.
The fucking one that's like anyway.
The plagues. Oh my god, though, the plagues. That song is it's so good.
It's a pretty solid movie through and through. I have very few complaints. Trey Nippiger, thank you for the additional super chat. Side note, if you know anyone with opiate addiction, please tell them about Suboxone. I was on 500 plus milligrams of oxy a day for almost 10 years. I have a bad back. Suboxone helped me. No withdrawals. Miracle drug. Thank you, Trey Nippiger. Actually, fun fact, I have a friend who did go through a heroin recovery some years ago. And I asked when Will had had come out with all this stuff, I asked this friend for some advice that I could pass on, and that he said the same thing. He said Suboxone over it, definitely, especially if you can get that over methadone, definitely. So thank you, Jury Nitpicker, and that's for anyone else out there. I've heard the same from other sources. So if you are struggling with an opioid addiction and you are looking to come off of that, apparently Suboxone is a much better option than then he says Suboxone is easy to wean off too. So apparently it's just a much better option than methadone, but I guess it's maybe harder to get or more expensive. So a lot of times you still kind of have to ask for it. People it's just default to methadone.
I don't know anything about that, so I can't comment.
I unfortunately know a lot about that stuff. So yeah, life. Thundercats Ho says a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious live stream. Well, thank you very much. We try to keep it that way. We do try to keep it that way here. So the world is broken, everybody's stupid, and one man is a voice of sanity in the wilderness, and of course that one man would be Ralph Fiennes.
I don't know anything about this, so I'm excited to see what he has to say.
This will be interesting. So, first of all, this is actually really funny. Discussing the pronunciation of his name on the, I believe, so where were we talking about it yesterday? Was it on my stream? Might have been on my stream, whatever it was, wherever we are. Anyway, so yes, Ralph Fiennes. It's like Ralph, but without the L. It's like Raphael, but without the AL. I guess J.K. Rowling said something else that's apparently homophobic or transphobic, and purportedly. And Harry Potter actor Ralph Fiennes calls backlash against J.K. Rowling's trans comments disturbing. Ralph Fiennes was stunned by the backlash against Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling over her comments on the transgender community. Quote, I can't understand the vitriol directed at her, Fiennes, who played the evil Lord Voldemort in 4 movies about the boy wizard, told The Telegraph. Quote, I can understand the heat of an argument, but I find this age of accusation and the need to condemn irrational. I find the level of hatred that people express about views that differ from theirs and the violence of language towards others disturbing. Rowling has upset people, including some of her readers, for her public statements on the subject, which have been called out by LGBTQ advocacy organization GLAAD. In June 2020, for example, Rowling shared an opinion piece that someone had written referring to, quote, people who menstruate, captioning it, quote, I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Woman. That's actually really fucking funny. It's kind of funny. Come on, take a joke, people. That's fucking hilarious. Do. After she received backlash, the writer responded by saying that she loves trans people, but that, quote, erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives, end quote. This is very true. We're seeing this left and right. We're seeing, I agree, like, again, as a person who is nothing but sympathetic to the trans community and has enjoyed several friends who identify as trans, so are trans, I should say. This fucking identifies you are, you fucking are. I have someone who has enjoyed several trans friends in my life. I can attest to the fact that, like, I have no problem with that. But when I start to see the fact that you can't say woman anymore, woman has to mean these different things, or I'm not allowed to discuss my experiences.
Oh, I hate that. The womex stuff. I fucking hate that. And because there's the word men or man in woman or woman. You know, I hate that. Get off your fucking high horse.
The whole thing that drives me nuts is the whole point where, like, I'm apparently not allowed to discuss my female experience because it may be insensitive to somebody else who doesn't have the same biological parts and therefore wasn't entitled to the same female experience as me. So basically, me being a woman is now offensive to other women, which is bullshit. And this is, I think, is exactly 100%. What Rowling is saying. She described herself as a person who had been empathetic to trans people for decades. LGBTQ supporters saw it much differently. They continued to push back as Rowling kept serving up equally controversial views on the subject. For instance, she expressed concern about the number of young women seeking to transition. As a result, Rowling said she, quote, experienced death and rape threats. J.K. Rowling continues to align herself with an ideology which willfully distorts fact about gender identity and people who are trans. In 2020, there is no excuse for targeting trans people. And that was a GLAAD post from June 7th of 2020. And GLAAD is just some radical source for things and stuff. Can you grab me a mug?
Yes.
Thank you. Several cast members of the Harry Potter franchise, including Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, and Eddie Redmayne, issued statements supporting the trans community in response. Quote, transgender women are women, Radcliffe wrote in a letter published by the Trevor Project. Any statement to the contrary erases the identity and dignity of transgender people and goes against all advice given by professional healthcare associations who have far more expertise in the subject matter than either Joe or I. So here's the thing, though. I don't see anywhere where J.K. Rowling is saying that trans women aren't women. Like there's people need to separate the conversation. And again, it's the straw man arguments. It's the logical fallacies. It's the refusal to acknowledge facts. People need to separate the conversation. Are trans women women from do biologically women who were born biologically female have a responsibility to be something else or hide that fact or dissociate from what that means? Like, do we as a society have a responsibility to dissociate from what being a woman traditionally means for the sake of some people's fifis? And it's some people, and when I say some people, it's not even the trans community, because I don't necessarily see her having a problem. Like, I don't know. I don't know this and that. I don't know all the things. The point is, not everybody has a problem with her saying this. Not everybody thinks this is transphobic. Clearly, and even if you do, and I think that's what's clear going back to Ralph Fiennes' statement on it, Ralph Fiennes doesn't speak one way or the other as to whether or not he thinks trans women are women or any of that. He makes no statements on that one way or the other. The comment he makes is the fact that she is receiving rape and death threats over her statements is disturbing. The comment,
yeah. Well, see, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I think what he's trying to say is that just because somebody has an opinion that you don't agree with and you don't like doesn't justify you grabbing the torches and pitchforks and going after them and trying to burn them like Frankenstein's monster, because they're not. They just have an opinion that you don't like and you don't agree with, just like they might have an opinion that the other people don't like and don't agree with, but you don't see them going after them with pitchforks. They're just expressing their opinion. And I think that's what he means, is that people shouldn't get canceled because you don't like what they have to say. It's like, well, if you don't like what they have to say, then don't listen to them.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to it. You don't have to.
Exactly. Just go somewhere else. Just solicit opinions that you like. I think the most telling thing is Ralph Fiennes' statement. I find the level of hatred that people express about views that differ from theirs and the violence of language towards others disturbing. Case in point, that's it. That's the conversation we're having here. That's what this conversation is about. It's not about what J.K. Rowling said or who it might have offended or if it was transphobic or not, or do trans people have rights or whatever, or are they humans or are they aliens? Because clearly they're green and from outer space. But the point here, and the point that Ralph Fiennes is trying to make, is not trying to defend J.K. Rowling's opinions or statements or stances. It is simply expressing this disbelief of the age that we live in, where having a difference of opinion, even if you find that difference of opinion wrong or bad, that seems to now justify this level of behavior that we largely as a society used to understand as universally condemnable. It was universally condemnable to send people death threats, no matter what. In fact, that was the whole shit. This is the whole thing, right? The Star Wars fans got for the crazy ones that decided to send death threats to Ahmed Best or Jake Lloyd and all that shit. So the whole Star Wars community got told as a whole, we're these bad, evil people because it doesn't matter how awful these characters were, how horrible it was. It doesn't justify you sending death threats to these people. Okay, cool. So by that logic, it doesn't matter how awful or mean or horrible these things are that these people said. It does not fucking justify you sending them death threats.
Well,
this is
rocket
science.
It's terrible to say, Jesse, but there's one. Oh my God. Apparently there's videos of Obi-Wan Kenobi doing a hula hooping. But okay, you know what this is making me think of? And I think I'm thinking of it because I'm on stream with you, because we've talked about this multiple times. Mm-hmm. Okay. When in history, not just American history, world history, was it okay when people said terrible things, death threats, rape threats, all of these terrible things, and society allowed it, and in their eyes society was okay with it because these people had the wrong thinker, they were the wrong type of people? When in history has that existed before? And the media supported it?
Yep, I can think of a couple examples actually.
I know I can too, and it's extremely alarming. But they're so fast to call people that word that you and I are both thinking of, that the chat has probably figured out by this point.
Oh, they're saying it. They know the answer.
Yeah, they all know because they're smart enough. But here's the thing: I'm not going to say it because all of us that know what this is, we know that because we are aware of history.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't. So they're following the same tactics that happened back in, the 1930s and 40s.
It's fucking scary. Yes,
it's Randy, very scary.
Randy, even though everyone else was saying a different answer, yours is also right too. Or sorry, not Randy, someone else. Or yeah, Randy Seymour. USSR also example. Yes. But yeah, no, exactly. Absolutely, exactly right. And it's like you break it down into the simplest terms. And that's what needs to be done. Don't get caught up in these fucking arguments and fights with these people. Don't get into splitting hairs with them and trying to logic your way in or out of an argument. It does not work. You break it down into its simplest statements, which is just that, which is just exactly that. Embracing intolerance of another person's ideology simply because it is different from yours is bigotry. It's hatred. That's Nazi shit. That's what it is. You break it down to its simplest terms. I will not associate with you because you support bigotry. What do you mean? What? No, you support discrimination based on sex, based on gender. You support segregation. I do not associate with people who support segregation or bigotry. That's these people. Case in point. They want you to identify. They want you to put the yellow star on your arm and declare who you are. And if you're not wearing the right color star, your ass is grass.
Well, it blows my mind that people haven't made that connection with pronouns. Like, look at them trying to bully Gina Carano into putting pronouns in her bio. And she said, no, fuck you. I'm not doing that.
Oh, you put the wrong badge on. You're canceled.
Yep.
Sorry. I don't put a badge next to my name because you tell me to identify. That is wrong. That is immoral. That's no. It's when you break it down into those terms, that is what's happening. I never thought of it that way too, but now you're absolutely right. And I'm actually I might even make a video on that. I might make a video effectively saying declaring your pronouns and expecting and forcing other people to do the same is akin to forcing people to put a yellow star on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? You're forcing people to declare themselves, to out their identity so that other people can judge them based on that.
Yep.
Because the second you decide to tell everybody that they have to put this badge on their profile, well, guess what? It means something now if you don't have one. Realistically, that's what becomes the yellow star now. Oh, if you don't put your pronouns on, now you have the yellow star. Now it's okay to gas you. That's where we're at. That's the mentality. And if you don't, and if people want to say that's extreme, okay. We are already at the point where it is okay to send death threats and tell people they deserve to die and take away their livelihoods and cancel them and harass them and fucking deplatform them because they disagree with you, because they say something you don't like. It is okay to tell people they're scum and dirtbags and you hope that they get murdered if they say an opinion you don't like. So if you don't already think we're on that slippery slope, I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like with the cancel culture, what do? They go after your job. They go after your livelihood. They make it so that you can't work anymore. They go after your family. They go after everything. What did they do to people back during the 1930s?
They took away your jobs. They took away your homes. They forced you into ghettos. They took away your businesses. They took away everything that made you, that let you express yourself, that let you be yourself. They told you weren't allowed to express yourself. You weren't allowed to practice being who you are. You weren't allowed to have your opinions or your identity. Nope. Your identity was bad. It was immoral. It was fundamental.
And people were terrified and started to hide. It's just like what Gina Carano said, where she's like, she's at people's houses and they're whispering in their own houses because they're terrified of getting canceled. Yep. It's like, wow. What does that remind me of?
Yep. And how do people not see it? It's frightening. To catch up on a couple of these super chats here. Jury Nitpicker back in the Subbox zone. It's generic now, so it's dirt cheap. Well, that's really good to know. So apparently, if you're in recovery, just ask for it. It is there. It is available. I guess some of those people don't always think to give it or know to give it, but definitely that over methadone seems to be the way to go. And we also had Sinar SJW Elite say Suboxone legitimately can give you your life back. So we have another endorsement for that. So anyone out there struggling with addiction, there you go. Today's Matriarchy brought to you by Suboxone. It can give you your life back. I am not affiliated with or sponsored by Suboxone in any way. Stephanie Janacek Smuggler's Cantina, thank you. Stephanie Janacek Smuggler's Cantina, thank you for the super chat. Says, I used to have a crush on Ralph Fiennes. Apparently, you just can't get any part of your name right today.
You know, you get to see his junk in Red Dragon. You get to see him full nude.
Well, there you go. I'm sure she's seen it. Whatchamacallit? Oh, my favorite Ralph Fiennes moment of all time is in Bruges. Did you ever see that movie?
Mm-mm.
I think you might enjoy it. It's weird, but I think you might like it. There's a moment in it where he's very angry at some news he's received on the phone, and he kind of beats the shit out of the phone while hanging it up, and his wife informs him that it's an inanimate object, and he just whirls on her and at full fucking volume in his amazing accent screams, "You're an inanimate fucking object!" And it's probably the greatest thing he's ever done on screen.
I thought he was cute in the Made in Manhattan movie.
I definitely saw that and probably did too.
It's funny when you see like a very serious actor and then they're like in a romantic setting. It's like, I never saw you like this before, but now I do, and I'm intrigued.
Right? He has a lot of charm too. He's a very watchable guy for me. I can watch him do pretty much anything.
I really like his voice. Like the way obviously he's British. The way he says things, it's a very distinctive voice.
It is. It's got a nice. He's got a nice lilt to it. There's like a softness but a sharpness to it at the same time, you know. David Cunningham, thank you for the super chat. Says, I find it funny these SJWs always assume the word woman comes to the word man, but what if the word man comes to the word woman? Point is, who cares about this shit? Exactly. Like everyone makes a big deal about like, well, you cares about woman, man, it's word man, and man, ew. Like, why don't we just flip the script and say, well, we have more letters because we're better than you. You don't need that. Men are simple. You only need 3 letters. We need more letters because we're more complicated and more important. So there you go. Just fucking flip the script. It's not, this shit isn't that hard. See, people aren't that smart. So all you got to do is just that. That's that. Yeah. So what are your feelings on Rafe? On Rafe, good old Rafe, and his.
He's right. He's right. I think he's 100% right.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think that J.K. Rowling has earned a lot of the condemnation and criticism she's gotten because she's done a lot of, I mean, like it started with Dumbledore. Oh, now he's gay, even though I didn't write it in. I just want to cash in on the identity points afterwards. And now Hermione's black and all this stuff. And it was clear that she was trying to cash in on points that she hadn't done the work to earn in any way. And people called her out on that pretty openly. And I thought it was really, really funny how that immediately flipped from like, oh, you're just virtue signaling, rah, to like, oh, now you're actually a bigot and this and that. And like, I haven't followed that stuff too closely, so I cannot necessarily speak to what she is or isn't or where it lands. I tend to feel differently depending kind of on whether totally like, wow, my train of thought just completely stopped immediately in my head.
You're fine.
What was I even saying? What were the words?
You were talking about J.K. Rowling
Oh,
and
yeah.
all the stuff, retconning stuff, basically.
Oh, yeah. I tend to feel differently based on which story I'm hearing, where I'm like, I'll hear a story about something she did, and I'm like, oh, that's really not bad at all. And then I hear another one, I'm like, all right, she's kind of being a fuck this time. But the point stands, nothing that she has ever done, nothing that she has ever posted or tried to retcon or tried to add into her works or put in her stories has ever made me go, God damn, this woman needs to get raped and killed.
No.
Like, what makes people feel entitled to say that? That's really, what makes people take that logical jump of going, wow, you hurt my feelings. You deserve to have a hot poker shoved up your ass and ripped apart from the inside out. Like, what makes people think that this shit is okay? I'm trying to figure out where we as a fucking society went wrong and just fell off a goddamn cliff like this, because it's so beyond the pale. It's so beyond normal or acceptable. And I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck this came from.
It came from people not being educated. You know what it really did come from, though, Jesse, that I noticed? It's from like my sister's generation, right? Even though I'm only a few years older than my sister, the difference in ages is I was in high school before I got my phone, and I didn't have access to the internet. You could just call and text people, and it was not a touchscreen phone. It was, you had to push what number was that? How many times to get a fucking R?
Oh yeah,
texting was it was kind of a mission if somebody was texting you.
It was a project.
And so, and you know, Facebook was. I remember when MySpace got created. I remember when Facebook got created. I remember when Twitter got created. Well, guess what? She doesn't, because she was too young. But by the time she got a phone much younger than I did. Yeah. She got access to all of these things much younger than I did. Heck, I remember when Instagram was created. I remember before these things existed. I remember when internet got created.
Dude,
you know?
I was telling my fencers today about when I was your age, we would type in thehamsterdance.com, and then you would get...
I love the hamster dance. And then I love Crazy Frog.
Oh yes, and then fish head. Did you ever find fish heads?
Of course. Did you ever call the rejection hotline?
Yes. Oh my god. Oh, that was so fucking funny. That was like sleepover shit all the time. Dude. But yeah, I was like, they were mesmerized. They're like, you did that for fun? And I'm like, yes, I did that for fun.
Yes,
like,
we did that.
Fun. Like, that sounds like an adventure. Like, it was an adventure. We actually had to want things, and then the payoff was a lot lamer, but it felt better because we fucking worked for it. So that's all right. I have hope for these kids, because this is the one that spends an hour letting me teach her how to fence, and she's only 10. So 3 days a week. I'm very impressed. Ooh, this is an interesting question from good old Caesar Jorpin, or fan, as some will call him, but we don't call him that here. Hamster Dance is an insult to Whistle Stop from Disney. No, Remy Canadian. Hamster Dance is a beautiful homage to Whistle Stop from Disney's Robin Hood. But yes, if you haven't already realized that, that's what it is. The Hamster Dance is just a pumped up techno version of the opening in Disney's Robin Hood. The it's just a sped up techno version of that. I do remember learning that, and it blew my fucking mind. So that was pretty exciting. All right, this is an interesting question from Caesar Dorpin. So who was worse in general, Stephanie Meyer and Twilight, or J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter?
Well, okay, so the thing with Stephanie Meyer, I mean, I haven't seen any controversy with her. Here's what you gotta respect about Stephanie Meyer, which I know, yeah, her books, you know, they are what they are. Here's the thing with them. Stephanie Meyer was just a housewife that had a dream. That's what Twilight is based off of, a dream. Mm-hmm. And she literally, as a mom with 2 young boys, right? You know, and it's hard, you know, being a single, or not a single mom, she's happily married. You know, just a mom with 2 young kids, you're staying at home, you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to take care of diapers and stuff like that. It's not an easy job. And she found the time to be able to write, and Twilight's a big book. If you actually look at it, it's a pretty big book. Yeah. And you know, it's not Tolkien, guys. We all know that, but she took the time to find time to write her fantasy. Yeah. You might not like it. You might not, you know, you might think it's weird, all of that, but guess what? She was disciplined enough and she had enough passion to get that out. And she wanted to tell her story, and she did. And she didn't do it because she wanted it to get published. I'm sure she hoped about that. I'm sure she's like, oh, you know, I hope this, it's kind of like doing a video for the first time. You hope it does well, or it does well. You hope it will do okay. And she wrote her fantasy. Yes, there are a lot of flaws in it, but she's done more. I mean, just with that one book, she accomplished more than a majority of people accomplish in their life. Like, I haven't written a novel, especially one that's that big. I haven't been able to get my story published or get anything that I have in here, like my own personal, like, fantasies that I want to tell, which I'm in the process of doing. Jeff's done it. Jeff told his story. I haven't. So somebody like Stephanie Meyer, it's like, again, I used to follow that because, you know, me and Jesse were kids when that stuff came out. We liked Twilight when it came out. Because, yeah, guess what? It's geared to young girls. She had an audience, and that's exactly what it was. As far as anything after, I don't know if she said anything controversial. And again, you don't have to like her stuff, but at least show her the respect that she was able to get that stuff done. Because a lot of people don't. And especially in her situation, she could have made every excuse. Yep. Well, I'm tired. I have to take care of my kids, which, you know, all valid excuses. But she was able to sit there and get it done, just like J.K. Rowling did. I don't like the certain retcons. Honestly, Dumbledore being gay, I didn't have a problem with at all. I was like, actually, that makes sense to me. My thing with it is, again, though, if you want to cash in on the points, if he's gay, you either write it or don't. Like, you don't get to coming out to say it afterwards. You're just cashing in. To suggest or insinuate somewhere, but she's like out and out is trying to, yeah, they were definitely gay for each other and this and that. She wanted to lead in and insinuate. I'm with you on that. I think that well, you know what? Honestly, Jesse, before she said anything, I kind of thought that. Oh yeah, I think the but so when I heard her say it, it was like confirming a fan theory that I personally had. So that's why it doesn't bother me like it bothers other people. 1,000% left field like a lot of people like to think it is. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I do agree she's trying to virtue signal and cash in. It's one of those things where it's like, I think if she was ever asked point blank about it, you know, did your envision of Dumbledore is gay? She could have said, you know, yeah, that was sort of my intention. Or she could have said somewhere that was my intention in writing it, but it, you know, it wasn't important about it. Like she could have said that. I envisioned him that way, but it wasn't a part of the story. I do think the way that she presented it was definitely trying to cash in on it. I don't think there's anything wrong with the idea that Dumbledore is, and I don't think this is how you find out if somebody is. If they're really just trying to virtue signal, you ask them questions about it and you kind of dig to the root of it. It was like, so when you wrote this, and you have to be strategic about it because you don't want to give them the answer. Oh, right? Yeah. It'd be like, so tell me how you created this character, everything about this character and like the concept. And if she explains, you know, well, and I mean, I've talked about it with you, but like in my story, it's like, well, is this going to happen? It's like, no, because I need this to be the focus. Yeah. And actually, I think that was actually a conversation I had with Cecil, not with you, but same story where Cecil asked me point blank. He's like, is that this character? Is that like this? And I said, possibly that's an option, but I'm not going to focus on that because it'll take the focus off of this. Yeah. Yeah. And so if she said, yeah, I always wrote him that way. Maybe I didn't say it as eloquently, but I knew that if I did that, certain people that, you know, she could have even called out homophobia. She could say, yeah, but if I said that, people would make it, you know, homophobic people would make it all about that and it would take away from my story.
Exactly.
That's a completely justifiable answer that I think everyone can respect.
Absolutely. And I think both in the instance are probably true. I think that she probably did write him with that intention in mind, but then she also was virtue signaling over it, you know, like a bitch. So let's get to where I land on her. It's like I
haven't seen any of that, so I could probably have a completely different opinion. But as far as when I was reading it and the little backstory where it does talk about Grindelwald and Dumbledore's sister,
yeah,
I got the impression that there was more to it, and that's I made the conclusion that I thought that they were in love.
U.S. Dutch Kitty, you're speaking my language right now. Animorphs, did you read all of the Megamorph books and like the Hork-Bajir Chronicles and the Visser Chronicles and all that stuff? Because I did. So if you did too, let's talk about Animorphs. Sorry, Animorphs is highly influential in my life. It's like the reason that my favorite name was Jake for like years. It's the reason that it might be the reason. I still don't remember if my favorite animal is a tiger because that's the one Jake morphs into, or if Jake was my favorite Animorph because he morphed into the tiger.
You know what's funny is I never read those. I might have read one, but I remember those covers like they're the back of my freaking hand.
Sean Ashmore was my first celebrity crush because he played Jake in the TV show. Oh my God. This shit goes deep for me. No side, Jake from the Animorphs.
Oh my God, Jesse, you know somebody fucked up when the crazy SJWs that usually are attacking me are defending me.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah. I'll send it to you in a private DM because I don't want to give this person any clout. But even though, I mean, hey, if they want to, people can go and find it and stuff. I'll send it to you right now. But yeah, when an SJW that's been attacking me since the beginning of time is defending me, that's when you know the other person is fucked up.
Yeah, that's when you know it's bad.
And then Jesse, I really have to pee, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, tight. I'll read this whatever sweet be. We've achieved the next stage in the course of life. The when I was your age stage. It's fucking true. I'm realizing that now when I talk to children. I'm like, I am just full of when I was your age stories. God damn it. It's happening. I'm old now. It's weird. I've just become this adult person. It's very strange. I don't know how it happened, but I'm just a big kid with money. It's fine. This is okay. See, this is how I know what's up. Actually, I'll tell the story to Anna because she'll appreciate she'll appreciate it when she comes back. Sweepy says, find another book to critique because Twilight is bad. Twilight is bad is drier than Gandhi's sandal at this point. Find new material, you lazy sack. Amen, Sweepy. No, you're absolutely right. I think that's where I always feel. That's where I end up about it. It's like, it's not that terrible. It is not any better or worse than any other young adult book it was sitting on the shelf next to on one side or the other in terms of its quality of literature. In terms of its story and its characters, clearly it did something right because it captured the imagination of a whole hell of a lot of teenage girls, myself included. I was a Twilight nut. I discovered that book before the Twilight craze took off. I discovered it before when there was a book, before the second one had even come out. And fell in love with it. Absolutely ate up the second one when it came out, was immediately disappointed at the choice of casting Robert Pattinson as Edward and was sort of from that point on tapped out on the idea of the movies. I was like, yeah, this is going to be retarded. And followed it, you know, from the distance as somebody who was very, very into the books, not thoroughly satisfied with the way they concluded, but maybe I'll try to when I was in college. I was 15 when Twilight came out. So you're not that much farther ahead of me, Mr. Zalotti. Whatchamacallit, yeah, or 14 or whatever, close to that. Anyway, so, but yeah, what I'm going to do when it comes right down to it, in the long run, I'll take Stephanie Meyer over J.K. Rowling because Stephanie Meyer wrote her books and she went away. You know, she wasn't involved in the production. Hey, welcome back. She wasn't even as involved in the production of the movies as J.K. Rowling was in hers, and she certainly has just sort of faded back into whateverness. So,
Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah. So while I think the Twilight,
she was pretty involved. I think she got a bad deal though.
She did. Well, she got much less. She got much fewer. She had much less control over the production than J.K. Rowling did in hers. The point is, at the end of the day, though, it's like I think the Twilight fandom is more insufferable in general. But Stephanie Meyer is fine. She just wrote a book and went away. I don't care.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So this is what always drove me crazy because I remember everyone around, I had like one friend that had read Twilight, and we went to the movie theater and waited in the cold for the midnight showing. And that was like when you actually had the true Twilight fans. And then everyone watched the movie and then they all got into it. But so what really pissed me off was the second book, New Moon, which is when, for those of you that don't know, Edward leaves Bella.
He's gone for most of the fucking book. I was in those books for Edward, and he's not even in half that fucking book.
I know. It pissed me off too. But so the New Moon is like the worst book.
Teenage complaint.
But so what happened? So Edward leaves because he thinks that him being around Bella is going to be, it endangers her because she almost died in the last book. So Edward leaves and breaks up with her, and then his entire family just disappears. And so she tries to get, anytime she has an adrenaline rush, she kind of like sees him. Like it's her hallucination, right? But so she's like she's an obsessed teenager. She does stupid shit. But the whole time, Jacob, who the werewolf guy, he has been like had a crush on her since they were kids. And so he's into her. But the entire movie, she's pining over another guy and he likes her. And so all this Team Edward and Team Jacob, it's bullshit because she never loved Jacob that way.
Team Edward, Team Jacob. It's just been this unrequited love from Jacob who can't get over the fact that the chick is not into her. And it's all fine.
No, and then what pissed me off even more is then when she gets Edward, she still wants Jacob to be like her puppy dog. And it's like, so you want to have your cake and eat it too. So it just shows how much of a shitty person she is. But everyone that was on Team Jacob, I'm like, you're only on his team because he's hot.
Yeah,
because Taylor Lautner is hot.
Yeah, exactly. Team Edward, Team Jacob wasn't even a thing until the movies happened. Those books were out for years. I had read them already. There was no Team Edward, Team Jacob until the movies came out, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, Taylor Lautner's abs," because Robert Pattinson.
Well, yeah, so they all wanted her to be with Taylor Lautner, but it's like you guys don't understand. You want her to be with a guy she's not in love with.
If they'd actually cast a hunky fucking Edward, then it wouldn't have been a fucking debate. So there you go.
Well, I think if they would have, I don't know, it would take. I didn't mind the casting of him. I had more of a problem with Kristen Stewart playing Bella. Here's the thing. She wanted Henry Cavill to play Edward. And if Henry Cavill played Edward, I would still be wearing Twilight fucking t-shirts.
Absolutely. But let's talk about a way better series because Marv Alice says, I love Animorphs. So excellent taste, Marv Alice. Who was your favorite? Please tell me. Jake was mine. Arib Hyder says, why does it feel cool when I see these people like Meg, etc. block me on Twitter? Yeah. Asking since you guys are more experienced than me in this regard. It's because you're part of the club. It's because, it's because.
Oh, hey, Jesse, their live stream started where they're talking shit about me.
Yay! Oh my God. We should put it on. That'll be so fun. But no, it's that exactly. It's because you see these people, you realize they're morons. And so when you see that they hate you, you're like, oh, I must be cool if they already hate me because they're a fucking moron. So that's why it feels awesome. So Marv Alice says there's an Animorphs movie in the work. I'm scared, Jesse. So I'm always of two minds now when I hear that they're making these things, right? Because I'm like, on the one hand, I'm scared. But on the other hand, maybe I could be in it. I could play Rachel, right? They could just put me in a wig. It'll be cool. It'll be perfect. Or they could just keep me short haired and they could totally go for they could just fuck everything up like they're going to. It works no matter what. Even if they want to go SJW with it and turn Rachel into a lesbian, I could still play her. It's, the short hair, it works. So I'm just saying I could play Rachel. Also, you should not ever make an Animorphs movie. No, that's 54 books and so much additional material. It's so fucking good. Marv Alice, that's the perfect choice though. You're the new Marco to my Jake now. But yeah, I don't think they should ever make a new movie. It's just if you want to commit to making like a 3-year fucking series, TV series or more, fucking go for it. But you can't make Animorphs into a movie. I don't like it. I'm against this. I'm decidedly against this. Thank you for letting me know though, so I can be scared and probably turn my channel into a devoted anti-Animorphs the movie channel. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe just Miles Entertainment.
Oh my God, Jesse.
What?
I clicked on it.
Oh, you clicked on it? Is it amazing?
I need to take a minute.
Oh my God.
They're honestly, they don't realize that they actually agree with everything you and I say.
They're
talking about how the internet is so big, you don't need to go out of your way to harass people.
Yeah, accurate. This is accurate.
And that's exactly what you and I have said.
Exactly right. We don't go out of our way anywhere. Do I need to bring this up?
I don't know, because then I feel like they're gonna be like, oh, they're
I'm not
bullying
enjoy
us.
the things I enjoy. Like why
Stop.
can't
Stop.
I
Stop.
be-
Pause. Shut up. I don't want to listen to you. All I heard was, why can't I enjoy the things I want to enjoy? Exactly. That's all I'm fucking doing, is being over here trying to enjoy the things I want to fucking enjoy. Why is that such a fucking problem for you? I'm not doing a live stream about how you and me. We talked about how you're harassing us. We got over that topic, and now we're on how Twilight sucks and Animorphs rock. Jesus. Stephanie Janacek Smuggler's Cantina says, you're not old, Jesse. Neither is Anna. Twilight sucks. I like the books. They're flawed. They have all those things. All those things are true. Teenage Jesse still likes them. US Dutch Kitty says, I'm controversial in my Animorphs fandom circles because my favorite Animorph was Cassie. Dude, Cassie's a baller choice. Cassie was probably my second favorite, depending. Marco was often my second favorite. Although I really like Tobias. I had a soft spot for Tobias. But no, Cassie was way better than Rachel. I liked Rachel, but she was the generic chick. Cassie was badass. Cassie was actually cool. And Marvalis says Marco was my favorite, but I get the Jake love. Jake is a baller, but Boris Cabrera on the show, that was Marco. I love Marco. He was, so when I would like play Animorphs as a kid at school, and my friend played Marco to my Jake, so I always have a soft spot for Marco because he's just the best friend. Ha! 007 Cloud says Henry would beat the shit out of Taylor. You seen the Tutors? Yeah, there would be no Team Jacob, Team Edward in that case, because Henry would just kick the shit out of poor little Taylor. Henry's a man, Taylor's a boy. That's how it goes. Let's see. And then we have Cameron Pasha. Taylor Swift is better than Taylor Lautner. She is the superior of the Taylors. Let's be real here. Even I can't say anything different. And I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. So, Team Sand People Tuscan Raider. There you go. I like it. So apparently there's just fun going on. I'll bring this up, Anna, if you're going to be watching it anyway, we might as well bring it up.
Sorry, I wanted to see, because everything they've said, they don't realize that they agree with me.
Yeah, I'm totally down to share it right now. And
okay, well, actually, can we talk about something else for a minute, because
sure.
This pisses me off. So here's the thing, guys. On Facebook, this is stupid because, oh my God. So on Facebook Marketplace, they have the option, like, people sell their stuff. It's like Craigslist, but it's easier because you shop and do this. Okay. So I bought yes, I'm crazy. I bought a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs plushie from them. Now, I didn't read the fine print because in the title it says the Seven Dwarfs from Snow White and the Seven fucking Dwarfs plush, right? And so, long story short, I bought it. I didn't realize it was $30 for one plush because I wouldn't have bought it. I thought it was $30 for all of them, and I thought I was getting a great deal. And I didn't have the Facebook Messenger app on my phone, so I didn't see the person message me saying, because I had Facebook open on my computer, and so when it the message opens, so that it doesn't show that I have a notification for a missed message, right? Mm-hmm. And it shows the other person that I read it, but I didn't see it until a month later. Mm-hmm. And I never got my plush. This was back in I think August or November. I think it was back in November, right? So I paid them almost, because it's $30 plus shipping, and there's a button that says pay. Right. And so I paid them. I paid everything for the plush, and I thought I was out like $36 for this plush. Right. And I still haven't gotten it, even though when you do automatically through Facebook, it already has your payment information. It has your address. And guess what? I paid it. The money came out of my account. I still, again, it's March. I still don't have, and this person finally, this person, I've caught them lying multiple times. And so I messaged them over and over for like weeks. And I'm just like, hey, like, if you're not going to send it to me, at least refund me. Can you at least like respond? Can you respond to me? Right. And this person finally started responding to me this weekend, and they said, I didn't see it. I sent them screenshots of them showing on Facebook that they saw it. Right. They're like, well, I don't have any money in my account. I'm like, so you spent the money that I sent you because you got it charged me. And I sent them a screenshot of me getting charged. And then they said, my bank account isn't linked to Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, but your last screenshot shows your bank account linked to Facebook Marketplace and how you have a $0 balance there.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, they said, oh, well, you waited a month to message me. I'm like, you waited 3 months to get back to me.
Yeah.
Right. And so now I sent them a screenshot last night and I said, again, I'm like, here's my payment information that YouTube processed. And I'm like, it wouldn't have the pay you option if, like, for me to automatically click pay now if you didn't have yours linked. And because you have it linked showing the $0 mark, you clearly have your bank account linked to your Facebook.
Yeah.
Or some kind of way for you to get paid through Facebook that you can exit out to your bank. Exactly. And so they're telling me that I'm lying. I'm like, you've lied to me, what, 3 times now in this message? I'm like, just fucking pay. Send me the goddamn plush or pay me. Yeah. You have my address. You have all that information. And guess what? I saw it. And I saw that they did cancel. Here's the thing. Facebook shows when you get refunded, which has happened. One time a lady sent me the wrong passage and it shows up as refunded. This just says canceled, not refunded, because the person never refunded me. And I don't know if I should at Facebook on Twitter to get their attention, because I've reported this account multiple times. And you know what they did, Jesse? They changed the name of their listing, right? So it was originally each plush is $30 individually. Then they changed the name of it and they changed the thing. So it changed our conversation settings. So now I can't go and report it again. So I had to go and report the individual person. So after that situation, what do you think I should do? Because now they're responding to me with lies again.
Stab them to death?
No.
I don't know. I guess, I mean, is there like a support thing through Facebook you can go through for it? I guess that's what you'd have to do, right?
I've tried reporting it, so that I feel like I'm at the end where I need to just add them on Twitter and be like, hey, Twitter, this is the situation.
Yeah, probably. I would take it there. That's my next step. I mean, if you're gonna be a shithead, then yeah, take it public. Got some love for Cassie here. Kay Stodham 42. It says Cassie was my favorite Animorph. So love for Cassie. No, Cassie was, as someone else talking about, she had layers and stuff like that. She did. She was very she brought something important to the team. I mean, so they called her the tree hugging hypocrite. Thing is, she was a really, really important counterbalance to the team. Like you had Marco. Marco was a little more laid back, but like Jake and Rachel were the firecrackers that were like going and fighting. Marco was, pretty much would go along with them. And Tobias was sort of his own weird self. And Cassie was the only soft counterbalance. So even though she wasn't my favorite, she was a really, really integral, important part of the team. Like you could have gotten by without Rachel. You couldn't have gotten by without Cassie. Arib Hyder says, these people don't see the irony in their own arguments. They keep chasing their own tails, doing exactly what they are playing the victim against. Exactly. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's like, how do you not see this? It's like, nobody went mad at her. She's the one who wants to go after you. She's the one who wants to who wants to deplatform you, who wants to report your videos and get your shit taken down. You're not out there doing the same to her. You're not out there reporting her shit, trying to get her flag, trying to get her deplatformed, to get her. You are not harassing her. People need to understand the difference between having an opinion that's available publicly and harassing somebody. Harassing somebody is targeting somebody. You can't target somebody if you don't even give them the thing. Like if you don't even show them what you made. Hey, I yelled and screamed at you, you're a fucking cunt. Well, that's great. You're a cunt, Meg. That I'm not harassing you. It's just a statement of fact, and I can say that anywhere I fucking want to, and it is not fucking illegal. I might get asked to leave certain establishments, depending on the volume at which I announce your cunthood to everybody, but it is in no place in the country in which I live is it illegal to say, Meg, you're a cunt. That is not harassment. Now, if I want to follow you home and tell you that, that's harassment. If I want to start adding you and saying you're a cunt all over your social media, that's harassment. But I am on my platform, I am on my channel, speaking openly and publicly, and you do not have to listen to this. But Meg, if you choose to listen to this live stream, which you probably won't, I just want you to know that you're a cunt. End of story. That's not harassment. That's you electing to engage in my rhetoric and then hearing something you don't want to hear. It's when you go to a bad movie and you don't like the movie, you don't get to demand your money back when you leave the movie. You don't get to cancel the filmmaker just because you didn't like it. Although nowadays we fucking think we can. You don't get to cancel people because they say shit you don't like. Saying shit you don't like is not the same thing as harassment. You need to grow.
No, it's not.
The difference. Geeky Prixies, thank you for the super chat. Geeky Pixie says usually Facebook links PayPal. That sounds like a scam that has more than likely happened to others. I say report it to Twitter.
I've been reporting it like look at this. Oh my god, they find. Oh my god, it's like they're saying how. It's like it says I don't have a bank account, so I can't receive money, and I'm just like, if you don't have a bank account, I wouldn't have the ability to pay you.
Exactly. Why did I pay you for stuff?
This person says, I don't have a credit card, a debit card, or a bank account.
Yeah, that's just a scam.
This is a scam.
Definitively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a scam. I'm reporting it. I want my money back because it charged me. I don't have the money.
So the one time that I was almost positive.
And I'm still not going to get my dwarf. That's the worst part. I have 6. I'm just missing Sleepy.
The one time I actually went for a purchase somewhere that seemed kind of sketch to me because it was like a Chinese company that needed a Western Union transfer to get the money to do the things and do the stuff. But it was the only way to get a classic Kelly Green Chuck Bednarik jersey for my dad. And so I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be out $70 here. This is sketch as fuck. But nope, they came through and actually shipped way faster than I would expect somebody to ship from China. So I got really, really lucky. But I also very, very rare. I buy minimal things online for somebody, in this day and age. Hey,
I buy so much stuff.
It's Pancake. He's a cat. He says hello. Hello.
Hi, kitty cat.
Oh.
Kitty.
I had to go to the vet yesterday and it was traumatic. They cleaned my
no, what happened?
Oh, I just had to get my ears cleaned because my stinky ear is still healing. And it hurt. It sucked and I hated it. Nuts. Hey, Mandy Summers, thank you for the super chat. Says Jesse. Mwah, girl. Much love, gorgeous ladies. Thank you, Mandy. Like OMJ. It was so fun having you on last night. We had a blast. We really did. We had a good time. And got Cody some new subs. So that was we had a really, really enjoyable fun time over there. Yeah, Cody's he was at 8 where he's up to 25 now. Does some really fun videos. He if you want somebody's it's pretty classic. He's like, well, starting out in the fandom, what do? Let me make a review of The Last Jedi. So that's his 4th video up there. We were checking out a little bit of it. He's got some great little insert cuts in there as well. And then Mandy, of course, pleasure having you on. I would love to have you on again very, very soon. She's got awesome books out on Indiegogo. Wart the Wizard, her all ages, family friendly piece. And then Pirate Queen is in demand right now. And there's naked covers of that. So if you like titties, that's where you want to go. But if you don't like titties, well, you also don't have to dislike titties to be fair, there are significantly fewer titties in Stealing Solo, but there are titties on the cover. They're clothed, but there are tits on the cover of Stealing Solo, so you should buy that too. And Maggie, thank you for the super chat. Oh, Maggie, is Maggie Mandy's #1 simp? Probably. He says, like, OMG, Mandy, it's the monarchy. Like, what? Thank you, Matt G. Mandy's #1 super simp. So that's Thank you for that. Thank you for that. For the lurv, and everyone else. Make sure you're pressing that like button. This has been an amazing stream. We have over 350 likes, people. That never happens. So thank you for bringing all your rage and vitriol here today. Because fuck the world. And oh yeah, guys, you know what happens. By the way, when someone is out there messing with my bestie out on the interwebs.
Oh my God, Jesse, did you know that there's only one specific way that you're allowed to interact as a fan?
Oh, and how is that? The way Meg
I don't know. I just paused. Sorry. I feel like I should know my reaction. I just am clicking randomly through and hearing it, but you're allowed to act however you want, but there is only one specific way you are allowed to interact as a fan.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Somebody write these rules down for me so I can tear them up and fucking burn them. Why do they? Everyone wants us to stream snipe them. Should we pull it up for a little bit?
I feel bad. Because I'm honestly embarrassed for this. Because, okay, Jesse, this is a channel with 82 subscribers and there's 44 people watching.
I mean, look, that's pretty good numbers watching for such a low.
Well, a majority of the people in the chat are from people that we recognize.
Oh, well,
99.9% of the chat are.
I'm going to dislike this now too. Oh goodness. Yeah. Yeah. That's I'm just reading some of the running comments. Change is a bad argument for a fandom that's been radically changed. Rogue One was good though.
You don't have to apologize for taking up space because you are a female, for being a female.
This is a great question. Who was complaining that women are leading Star Wars movies? That's what I still want to know. Who the fuck was ever actually complaining that Star Wars had female leads? Fucking nobody. That's not a real thing. Nobody bitched about that. People might have bitched at Daisy Ridley because they were like, I don't know who you are. How dare you be in Star Wars? You're not good enough. And that I believe of course, because people are retarded. They bitch about everything. I mean, look, I'm past the point. Every time someone says this harassment campaign happened, or this point was harassed, or this shit happened to this person, I'm going to say, yeah, it probably did. I have seen the idiocy that people do and say online, the way they act towards each other online. I assume that, yes, I'm sure that everybody has, because the thing is, if you're online, you have been the recipient of istophobic rhetoric. That's just what being on fucking Twitter is. I have been the recipient of harassment and of hatred and of istophobic rhetoric directed towards me. Anna has been the recipient of countless harassing tweets, threatening tweets, all of this shit bullying. It's just being on social media. It's just what it is. But the thing is, right, nowhere in all of this, all this shit that Daisy really had to deal with and blah, nowhere did I see any fucking person anywhere bitch that Star Wars had a female lead. That is not a real thing.
And if it is, show us the evidence. If that's a real thing, show us the asshole saying that, because I haven't seen him.
I guarantee you there are infinitely more screenshots of some dumb assholes saying some dumb Asian slurs at Kelly Marie Tran than there are evidence of people saying, oh my God, I can't believe that Star Wars is being led by a woman now.
I mean, I can show you plenty of terrible things that people have said about me in my own YouTube channel. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, okay, there's going to be assholes out there that say terrible, terrible things. But I mean, but here's what I do. I take screenshots and I post it on Twitter and I laugh about it. You know, show me the receipts. If you are going to make these declarations, show the evidence. It's not that hard to do. If you're afraid of like, oh, I don't want to show this person's name because they'll attack me. It's like, so then blur out their name.
So blur their name. Exactly. There's a lot of ways around this. It's not that fucking hard. It's not fucking rocket science here. But it's, I'm enjoying checking out some of these, there's someone saying it's still inappropriate either way. You can't just say she deserved it because of an issue. There's no reason to be rude either way. I don't know who they're talking about. One thing, but that's just a great thing to say. You know, no matter who they're saying it to, it's exactly right. None of us are sitting here saying, oh, I don't know what she's claiming that she underwent, what harassment, terrible things, Meg. None of us are sitting here trying to say she deserved any kind of harassment or whatever she may have.
And this is, Jesse, this is the analogy that I used yesterday. Okay, when a child pulls, or excuse me, not yesterday, the stream right before this, when a child pulls a dog's tail and the dog turns around and bites the child, nobody blames the dog. Everyone blames the child because it's like, well, you shouldn't have pulled the dog's tail. What do you think was going to happen?
Exactly.
You know, if you don't want people to defend themselves, then don't attack them. Then don't make these outrageous allegations. What she was doing was and I showed this in my very first video, when you go out of your way and you want attention, you know that hate gets clicks. So everything you said prior, nothing. Nobody was bothering you in your space. You made this declaration against both men and women. You said that women were too weak and that we had to ask for permission for things from men, even though you didn't say it, you implied it. And women never had a platform or a safe space before. So you're implying that women are weak and men are oppressing them. So you're attacking both genders there, right? And then when every single man says, hey, that's bullshit. A woman has never asked me for permission for anything, nor should she. And when you have all of these women saying, I never had to ask for permission, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, well, you kicked the hornet's nest. What do you expect? Do you expect for the hornets to stay inside and get kicked? No, they're going to come out and they're just going to defend themselves. They're going to defend their queen. They're going to defend their honey. They're going to defend, I mean, I should have said bees because I really don't know what hornets have in there. Do hornets have in there? I don't think so.
No, they don't. They just have evil stingers. And
okay, they have babies. They're defending their young. They're defending their babies, right?
No,
okay, they're defending their home. There we go. That's something better. It's honestly like you go and say an outrageous claim against a country and expect the country to not defend themselves.
Exactly. What do you expect? You want to, this is something that just bothers me incessantly. It's this attitude of we're going to kick you. We're going to kick you. We're going to kick you over and fucking over again. We are going to slap you in the face. We're going to spit on you. We're going to do all this horrible shit to you. And then we're going to turn around in the second you lash out in response, even just to say, hey, don't fucking touch me again. We're going to fucking cancel you for it. Because, oh, look at you. It's just like we said. You're violent. You're angry. You're dangerous. You're awful. You're all these things. Meanwhile, the shit that's been hurled at you incessantly has been 10 times worse than that. Also, I just like to point out that this show is way more diverse than theirs because we don't have any white men on it. So we're way more woke than them. They have white men. I don't care what their orientation is. They are white men, and so they're evil. So this show doesn't have white men. Fuck them. The end. Laura Hugill says, would you and Jesse like to react to Ghost Stories, the anime? The jokes would offend the PC and SJW crowd. You can find clips of it on YouTube. Yeah, that sounds like a fun thing we would like to do at some point. I will go, let me take a screenshot of this one, and I will go take a look at some of the Ghost Stories clips and see if that's something we want to bring on our show. Are you trying to one up redo of Healer? Is that the angle here, Laura? That feels like the angle. And I didn't
watch the episode today. I need to.
I still need to go. I still need to watch it. Just period. I need to go start. Clearly. Yep. Jesse and Anna haven't been canceled yet. What's taking so long? Fucking can't cancel me, bitches. I got a grandstand for LIVIT. It's my literal actual job. They actually, pay me to fucking do it. Gotta make sure I'm forcing myself to take time to grandstand for LIVIT when I'm on here. Yeah, YouTube. This is just my hobby now. Why? Because I've been effectively shadow banned for going on 2 years now. It's super fun. Awesome. What does that mean? It means that, I don't know, a week from now, all the wonderful subscribers who just showed up here, check, because you'll probably be unsubscribed from my channel within the next few days. And if you're not, then, well, for however many, think of it this way, right? It's like those magical, horror kinds of things where, like, if you want to bring someone back to life, someone else has to die. For every one new subscriber of mine, one of my old ones gets just randomly unsubscribed from me. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But if you want to actually support me in a way that matters and doesn't get randomly erased by the whims of people who hate me, you can go follow me on LIVIT, where I'm streaming 5 days a week, playing music, chatting up random shit, telling fun stories, being in various states of inebriation, going for walks. It's weird. It's wacky. It's wonderful. It's so much more interactive. It is so much more positive. And there's so many more actionable ways that you can actually directly help and support me over there without even spending money, that do way more than just a click over here does. So check out LIVIT, sub to me over there. My next stream will be tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific. There'll probably be a lot of music in it and a lot of chatting and hanging out. So come check that out. It's so much fucking fun. There's like a hustle over there too. Like you can just chill and have a really good time, but there's also, like, you can level up as a streamer. You can level up as a viewer. So if you like to gamble, there are jackpot prizes. So you can spend a smaller number of coins or up to medium or bigger number of coins on these jackpot prizes to send to your favorite streamers. And if you hit the jackpot, instead of giving them 2,000 coins, you'll give them like 20,000 coins. And it's super exciting to watch your favorite streamers just lose their shit because you gave them something awesome and nice. It's so much. It's like Imagine what you wish every live stream was like on YouTube. Like imagine the best live streams when you show up on someone's stream and everyone's having a really good time and is feeling it. The energy's high. They're interacting with the chat. Super chats are getting, laughs, conversations are all going. Everyone's just having a great fucking time. That is every LIVIT stream. Every LIVIT stream is like that because the environment just fosters people enjoying themselves instead of wanting to cry because YouTube fucking hates them. So go over there. I posted that link. I'll post it again. Give me a follow over on LIVIT. Anybody who is streaming or interested in streaming too and is like, YouTube seems like an evil place to do that. There's also OBS is an option over there if you're a gamer. It's definitely much more friendly for musicians. So if anyone else is interested in that stuff, talk to me. Let's build a LIVIT community. One of the things we talked about last night, everyone hates Twitter. There's no alternative for Twitter because everyone went to a bunch of different new startup places. Everyone's frustrated with some of the shit that YouTube does to us. So if we all go to the same place, maybe that one's the next new thing. And then we all make a gajillion dollars off of it because we are the startup darlings of it. So there you go. So go LIVIT. Go follow me there. Do those things. Sweet Pea's telling you about how great it is in the chat. She was on my stream with me yesterday. We were talking ghost stories. It was fun. So not the anime, just literal actual ghost stories. But yeah, that's my LIVIT grandstand. But aside from that, we are over our 2 hours. We've had a solid, awesome show. We are through our topics. And is there anything you'd like to add or share with the class while we are still here?
Jesse, I know that this is my biggest weakness. I really like being right. And I get this insane euphoric satisfaction from being right. And when you have facts on your side, you're always going to be right, So if you don't want to be called a liar, don't lie. And honestly, this stream that they're doing, I mean, you can see how red my eyes are because I'm actually kind of happy. It validates everything that you and I have been saying for years, because you know what's funny? Everything that they're complaining about is it's funny that if you just took the time to understand people, which you claim you do, you would see that we all agree very similarly, but you're so blinded by your hatred that you can't see that. It's only 6 billion absolute, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Damn straight. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm not going to miss any super chats here because thank you guys. You sent just a bunch more. Let me find my most recent one. Also from Geeky Pixie. Thank you. Project Stardust. You're allowed to have this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now. Now you have to become the very thing you swore to destroy. You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now. Till now you become the very thing you swore to destroy. That's exactly what it is. They are the new empire. That's what they're doing over there right now. That's a little empire stream. Let's all get together and consolidate and push out to the outer planets and tell them that's what they are, pushing out of the outer planets, our nerd properties, telling us now how we're supposed to be, how we need to fall in line too, how your safe little mecca away from everything else, away from the mainstream where you had to conform and you had to do what we said and you had to fall in line. Yeah, we're coming for you now too. We're pushing out further and further every year. Fucking anyway. Matt G says, OMG, Jesse, I think Mandy needs a wrench because there's a lot of knuckleheads out there. What? You are so right, Matt G. So I just took care of that and we threw into Cameron as well because I figured he's pretty recommended. So y'all is wrenched now. Cameron's out there whoring for Mandy and he's trying to get on her show and we got this networking going in the chat now. Cameron, you're so desperate. Jesus fucking Christ. It's not a good look. I'm kidding. Do it. Do it up. Do it all. Love each other. I love the love. I love the mindless mob. I love how much everyone gets along and loves each other. Daano says, will you be mirroring your channels on Odyssey? What is Odyssey?
I guess Odyssey is an alternative streaming platform. People keep asking me to do it. I think Yellow Flash does it. I'll ask him about it on Saturday.
Probably not. My kind of stance is I'm trying not to double my media. YouTube still serves a purpose for me. It still has a function, it's My Tuesday streams ain't going anywhere. The Matriarchy ain't going anywhere. These were great staple shows of the Fandom Menace that I think people really enjoy. And I need a place to put out my long form videos, to put out my rants, to tear this bitch apart tomorrow. So just tune in for that, because I'll be recording that after the Matriarchy probably. And yeah, to produce, produced content.
You know what's funny is I typed this in and I can't even find this website.
This is the plush thing still?
No. The
Odyssey.
Odyssey. I can't find it.
Okay, do you spell it this way? Odsye?
Yeah, that's exactly how I spelled it, and it's not coming up. The first thing that pops up is like an energy policies website about energy.
I don't know. No, what that says to me is that it is not it is not that it has not taken off yet. That's like when you search oh, there it goes. Hey, that's awesome. I just Google searched LIVIT. LIVIT is now has now search engine optimized so that it is now the first thing that comes up when you search for it, which is really good because it wasn't that case for a long time. It's Glenn. Thank you for the super chat. It says Messi is better than Ronaldo.
No, it's not. Stop lying.
What is that?
It's soccer, aka football. Ronaldo is the best soccer player in the world. What happened last time Messi was in the World Cup? Oh yeah, did he choke? Oh yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Who beat Argentina? Oh yeah, that's right, Germany. How funny.
So
yeah.
All I know is that I sat next to Cristiano Ronaldo's agent on a plane once, and he was a really cool dude. So I'm Team Ronaldo because of that. Arif Hyder said, since I was blocked, created a lurk Twitter account, went and praised everything Meg says, got more followers in 3 days than my actual account. Suckers. Oh, I fucking love it. That's hilarious. Dude, Arif Hyder, you are my hero. Thank you for doing that. That's wonderful. Oh my God. Thank you guys for all of these wonderful super chats. Thank you guys for all of the love. Oh, he says he spelled it wrong. So yeah, Odyssey. Try that.
Odyssei.
Ssey.
It shouldn't be this complicated to spell. No, now it's just taking me to Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's probably going to take you to like the Odyssey, that epic that Homer wrote.
That was Homer. Then it's like restaurants in my area.
Okay, hold on.
Cars.
Okay, so it sounds like this is a startup, and also that's one of the things for me too. I don't like to put my content on places that aren't as well vetted. Matt G says, like, I'm Jay, Jesse. That Starbucks girl is so fetch. Like, I'm Jay. She likes so as. Like, but stop trying to make fetch happen because it's never going to happen, okay? It's like downtown LA. It will never happen. That's always been my joke ever since I came out here and realized how hard they've been trying to make downtown LA be the new hip place for people to go live. Like, they've been trying that shit since before I moved out. It is not working. It is like fetch. It will never happen. So, are you Anna's sniping them again.
Sorry, I wanted to see.
Can't resist. Anything good over there?
No.
All right. Of course not. Nothing good at all. They're up to, let's see, 16 likes, 50 dislikes now.
Guys, don't do that. Don't do that to them.
The thing is if you go and just harass them, you're only going to validate their point.
Yeah, they're only going to play the victim, so don't do that.
Now, if you go and ask and just say things like, why are you harassing that Star Wars girl? That's different, but don't just dislike spam. Don't comment spam. Don't do that because you'll just reinforce their point. We will not beat them by playing their own game. You only beat them by demonstrating.
Well, no, here's what you do. You don't dislike it. Don't say hateful things. What if you want? Ask them actual questions.
Exactly.
But the way that I do it with people, I try to get it down to a yes or no answer. Right? Did you do this because of this? And if they can't, if you ask them actual questions and they can't answer the questions, that's usually when people kind of expose themselves.
Oh yeah.
So I would say if you are going to go in there, which I don't really recommend, I'm just watching it. I'm not going to, I have it up in the background. obviously adamantly watching it. I just pop in and like see what they're talking about now. And then, like I said, I listen to it a little bit and I'm like, this person doesn't realize that they actually agree with me on everything that they just said. Like we agree on everything that that person just said, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm not commenting, I'm not saying anything. So I wouldn't, please don't do that. Don't go there and bother them and dislike the stream. If you have a legit question, if you feel the need to ask it, then ask it. I'm not your mother. Just don't say anything mean. Don't harass them in any way. Don't treat anyone the way that you wouldn't want to be treated.
Exactly. Here's my stance on it. If you're going to go over to the stream and engage in the chat, be watching the stream and engaging with the stream. Say what you want. Say what you would say. Say what you think is respectful that and you would want to be said to you. Don't say anything you wouldn't want to say to be said to yourself, because then you're just as big of an asshole. But if you're going to go over there, don't just go over there to say what you want or this or that. Engage with the stream. If you're going to ask a question, listen to the answer and you respond to it. Be part of the conversation. Force them to shut down the conversation if they can't hang. Right? It's not about harassing them or saying shitty things or being a jerk to them. Force them to have the conversation. You're the only people fucking watching them. Nobody else gives a shit about their little stream. So force them to answer the hard questions. Not, obnoxious, why do you suck? Why are you an ugly cunt or anything like that? That'll just get you banned, even though it's a valid question. But shit like that, if you're so against harassment, why did you launch a harassment campaign to try to get an independent creator deplatformed? That's an excellent question.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They said one of the things that the girl that, Meg, that's been very much against me, won't even acknowledge me by name, won't even acknowledge that I'm a freaking girl. One of the things that she said, which again, I have screenshotted, she says that she thinks that, women should be allowed to have safe spaces and that women should be allowed to feel comfortable speaking in their platforms. In the section of the stream that I just watched, she specifically said she doesn't like that some people are afraid. And it's like, okay, but look at what you're doing. I'm obviously somebody that's not afraid, and I'm not afraid to speak my mind, how I feel about things. And so wouldn't you think that somebody that might be afraid to say something, not to put myself up in that position, but if you really look at it, like when I get motivated, I listen to motivational speeches and stuff and I see, wow, if that person can do it, then so can I. Like with Stephanie Myers, I can look at that and say, look, however you feel about her work is how you feel about it. But this is a woman that had 2 young children and was a full-time wife, house mom. Cooking, cleaning, taking care of 2 young children is not an easy job, and still able to write a book. If she can do it, then what's stopping me from doing it, And so you look at it for inspiration in that. And in this stream, they're saying, well, women shouldn't have to be afraid. Okay, so wouldn't you think that seeing other Star Wars fans, seeing a woman having a platform, a pretty large platform, and isn't afraid to speak her mind about things, wouldn't you think that would give other people confidence to not be afraid to speak their mind?
Right? Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want that example out there, irrespective of whether you agree with them or not? Wouldn't you want that example to be there? This is hilarious.
Oh, they're attacking each other?
So what you're saying is she makes her only shtick on YouTube as being an insufferable bitch, even in her own circle. That makes sense to me. That makes a lot of sense.
What? Wait, no, I don't understand that. They're in a political group and they're attacking each other?
It sounds like from what I'm getting from that is not necessarily they're attacking each other on the stream, but just that's part of the shtick is that they're not all on the same side, that they are an oppositional community who fights with each other over this shit.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I don't know anything about that. Like I said, this only came in my radar because there's a freaking harassment campaign against me, a targeted harassment campaign against me in my videos. But here's the thing. If
the funny thing is though, if that is the case, if she's part of a community where it's like, oh, people have different opinions and they fight with each other, clearly the dislike ratio shows how popular she is in that community. Because if you're in a controversial community, you're always going to have a higher dislike ratio than other people. But if your opinions are the ones that people tend to agree with, your like ratio is going to be a little higher. So,
hey guys, can I just say something? If you have to resort to insulting a person on their looks, then you really don't have an argument.
Yeah.
And it's a really petty thing to do. I don't engage in that.
No.
So if there's a certain situation where you're not trying to have an argument and you're just laughing at something because it's comical, that's a little bit different. And if I have done this in the past, you know, I think I've learned from it from now because I don't do that anymore. But so when if somebody's insulting me, right? If they have to resort to commenting on my looks in some way, like a lot of people, I've said this story before, a lot of people used to say that my nose was huge. And I'm like, it's not. It's actually very proportionate to my face. And guess what? I love my nose. So you telling me that my nose is huge, it's like, well, I look at my nose and I see a Scandinavian nose. One of my really good friends is a nurse for a plastic surgeon, and she actually shows people pictures of my nose as an example if they want to, when they're looking at different noses for a nose job.
Dude, that's awesome.
So, I know. I'm like, that's so flattering.
Wait, how many people do you think are just walking around out there with your nose?
Actually, a significant amount.
That's hilarious.
I know. Well, so here's the thing. So people used to use that as an argument. And it's like, the second you have to stoop to commenting on my looks, it means you don't have any other criticisms of me. So you have to stoop to that.
Exactly.
And so if you are going to criticize someone, just think about that the second that you do that, people around you see that you don't actually have an argument. So think about yourself in that sense. Think about your own self-respect. And so, yeah, okay, you can, you know, let's talk theoretically. Okay, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, right? Everyone knows he has a hunchback. The only people that say stuff to him about that, like when Esmeralda is talking to him, she's like, I see eyes, I see the, or actually, I think that was in Tarzan. Well, Esmeralda doesn't treat him badly. She, you know, yes, everyone can see he has a hunchback. The only people that say bad things about him are the villains, and they're doing it to hurt him, right? Anyone else treats him basically like an equal and talks to him like he's a human. And if they do have criticisms of him, like his anger, like when Phoebus is, you know, telling him to control his anger, that you're going to get yourself killed if you go do this right now. You know, he's not saying, hey, shut up, stupid hunchback. He's like, control your fucking anger, else you're going to die. So think about that when you're doing your arguments. So yeah. And guess what? You can say something, because beauty is in the eye of the whole beholder, right? You can go and say something about everyone. Like me, I've said, I think the only thing that I've really criticized when looks come into it is that I'm not sexually attracted to blue eyes. That's the only, and blonde hair, you know, I like darker features. That's the only really time when I talk about people's looks and how that context, or that me saying that, has importance to it, right? Yeah. So going on this stream, yes, these people are saying terrible things about me. They're trying to deplatform me. I'll never stoop to insulting their looks, because that's not the argument here. They're more than welcome to stoop and say whatever they want about the way I look. I'm completely confident in the way that I look. You know, I wish my hair was longer. That's about it. And my ears were slightly bigger because they're too small right now. And I can't wear this one earring that my sister got me. So that's about it. Looks, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I know. So that's my favorite. One guy tried to call me cottage cheese thighs. I'm like, bro, my thighs are one of my proudest features. I love my thighs. They're impressive. I'm very, very thrilled with them.
I know, you could be a Pixar model. I was actually talking about you remind me of Mrs. Incredible, the way that your body is proportioned.
That is how I'm built. I got just
and then the way I even thought about this more, I'm like, oh my god, even the way her hair, like, yeah, it's in a bob, so it's longer than yours, but the way it comes at that like little angle, I'm like, just showing that to a pixie and it's Jessie.
There you go. That's it's pretty.
And she's got that slight accent. Hers is Southern. Yours is obviously from Philly, but. Yeah, so it's a bit different, but I was like, if you were a Pixar character, you would be Mrs. Incredible.
So did I tell you how, because Jeff is having me watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia all the time, my Philly accent's getting thicker again?
I can hear it.
You can hear it. I said you can probably fucking hear it lately. I've been talking like way more Philly. I actually really like it. It's good. Thank you, Gaia de Oro. There is nothing wrong with thick thighs. I love thick ass.
Az is so hurt from that, Anna. Okay, but see, I do it to Az because he knows it's a joke and he knows it's funny.
Here's the thing. If you guys want to, if you guys feel so, if you guys absolutely have to go spam that chat, just go tell everyone to back stealing solo. It's perfect spam. Be like, hey guys, it's a stream that's all about supporting people who love Star Wars. Well, go back stealing solo, independent creator, Star Wars. And maybe if you say it enough, they'll be like, what's the stealing solo thing? And they'll have to look it up and they'll give us some free press for it. So there you go. Oh, Gypsy Warrior. Thank you for the super chat. Who's dumber? Warner Brothers or Disney? All the best. Disney, functionally Disney. Warner Brothers at some point, I think, in the process of pouring $70 million into the Snyder Cut, realized it was a huge fucking mistake. Which is why they're like, okay, it's done. We're moving on. Like, there's no Warner Brothers rolled this out as their whole like, hey, HBO Max, this is why you should get it plan. And then it became this whole big other thing. And they dissociated it. It stopped being their flagship thing that they were pushing. They dissociated from a lot of the production, all the information coming out about how much it costs and this and that, and worried about all their other movies coming out, etc. So and the other thing is, right, Jeff and I are driving by Warner Brothers Studios the other day. They're building a new soundstage over there. So they're not crippled. They're not hurt, you know. They're probably actually doing good money on HBO Max because they have some of the better theatrical release titles coming out. That was actually, as shitty as it was for the theater industry, a smart money move on their part. So WB might be evil, but I don't think their censorship push is going to cost them viewers and cost them a lot of people. But I don't think they have made nearly as many missteps yet as Disney. And I also don't think as a result their business is hurting very much. Now, again, relative to Disney pushing their politics, Warner Brothers censoring their older titles is a relatively newer thing. So maybe the backlash is coming. But one of the big parts of it is like Disney had the luxury of not worrying about the financial performance of their movies for a long time because of the parks. Coronavirus shutting down the parks is the only thing that actually forced Disney to reevaluate their money making model. Warner Brothers doesn't have a park. Until HBO Max, they didn't have a streaming service. They didn't have these alternate revenue streams the way that some of these other studios do. So their brand lives and dies by the success of their productions. If they don't continue to produce material that people want, bad stuff happens. So retroactively fixing things that they should not be fucking tampering with is bad and terrible, but it has a finite there's a finite amount of damage that will do if HBO continues to produce quality content and if Warner Brothers continues to put quality content on HBO Max. So that's where those are my thoughts. Anna, anything to add?
I mean, again, there's not much that I'm as invested in with Warner Brothers. So, I mean, like the Snyderverse, I've never been interested in that. I thought that, like, I never, especially with how much I love Henry Cavill and I drove over Henry Cavill. Man is still, it's a Superman movie that's not made for Superman fans, comic book fans. It's made for, I don't know who it's made for.
It's made for your everyday moviegoer, your casual
not even that,
moviegoer.
because a lot of normies that I know don't like it.
Too dark. It's made for Snyder fans is really what it's made for.
That's exactly it. It's made for Zack Snyder fans.
He has a very specific vision.
It's made for people that like that kind of stuff, right? And so I watched it, and I again, it was like one of those things where it's like I never need to watch it again. I didn't watch Batman versus Superman. I mean, I knew that movie was going to be a flop the second it was announced. And the best thing that came out of that, well, hello, Henry, got me some visuals of Henry, which again, the only way to watch that movie is to put it on mute with candles and music and looking at Henry Cavill playing, But I remember the best thing that came out of the movie was that clip of Henry and Batfleck sitting in there, and Henry's answering the question, and the camera zooms in and Batfleck going, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." That was because that video exists. It's worth it that movie exists.
Yes,
that made it for me. Like the memes, I'm happy that there are the memes that I'm like, okay, it's worth it. But if I want to watch the Justice League, I'll go watch the animated series, the Justice League and the Justice League Unlimited. If I want to watch a Batfleck movie, guess what? One of the best Batman movies I've ever seen with Ben Affleck is not a Batman movie. It's a movie called Paycheck. And if you watch it, it's Bruce Wayne. I would say it's him before the bat suit, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically, or maybe he doesn't have it, but it's him. It's Two-Face. It's Poison Ivy. And those are the characters that are in that movie. And if you watch it with the mindset that this is a Batman movie and he's Bruce Wayne, she's Poison Ivy, but maybe it's a different version where they are in their, 30s and they haven't became these people yet. And maybe the next movie will be their origin story. Definitely for Two-Face. This would show how Two-Face became Two-Face. But Paycheck is one of the best Batman movies I've ever seen. And it's not a Batman movie. But because they have, the actor that played Two-Face in the Christian Bale verse, they have obviously Uma Thurman, who played Poison Ivy, and then they have Batfleck. There you go. Go watch that movie and think about it as a Batman movie. You will enjoy it 10 times more. And me and Peaches were watching, we're like, wow. So
I think this is the second or third time I've heard your pitch for that, and I really want to do this now, because I'm like, every time you say it, I'm like, this sounds good. This just sounds fun. And now it makes me want to see the Batman movie that's actualized like that.
Well, I watched it when I was young because it came out in the 2000s, right? Because Ben Affleck is young.
Yeah.
And so because, at that point when that movie came out, he wasn't Batman. The actor that plays Two-Face wasn't Two-Face. He wasn't Harvey Dent. But if you watch it now, knowing that, she was Poison Ivy because she played Poison Ivy before that movie came out, right? If you watch that movie now, knowing who all of those characters played because you've seen them as that, you watch that movie, you're like, oh my God, this is Bruce Wayne. And then thinking about that, have that be a prequel to the Snyderverse Batman, and it's like, this makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so we almost escaped the stream without discussing the Snyder Cut, but we're on it now, firmly. Bruce Lombardo, thank you for the super chat. Says, wait until all the HBO Max cancellations hit. Maybe they'll rethink their stance on, what am I thinking? Cancel that crap. So Bruce, the unfortunate reality with the Snyder Cut and how people may have felt about it now. So I don't know if people are in the mindset of the Snyder Cut sucked, so we're canceling HBO Max because why did I have it for this reason? Or if you're the mindset of something about now Zack's apparently, I don't know, however you feel about Zack Snyder and the shit that he said, etc. Anyway, irrespective.
Oh, apparently this chick is denying that she called him to platform me.
There, you have the fucking screenshots.
Well, the chat just exploded. I just clicked over it. I don't know if it was like updating or something, but everyone in the chat's like, you literally tweeted it.
You fucking tweeted this out there. You've tweeted like earlier today. Why hasn't this chick been deplatformed?
Okay, people are saying it's wrong to false flag people.
Yeah, it is. She's not fucking harassing you. She made a fucking video about your dumb lying ass. It's not the fucking same thing. It is wrong to false flag. Fucking
well,
bitch.
no, people are like, they're saying like the fandom in this never said that. Everyone's just saying it's not okay to deplatform people, and they're saying the fandom has never said whatever it is they're accusing of. They're muted. I just have the chat up.
Good. So what I was going with this, Bruce, is irrespective of what reasons you have come to the conclusion that fuck HBO Max after the Snyder Cut. HBO Max, unlike Disney, that really its streaming service, let's be honest, lived and died by The Mandalorian, lives and dies by The Mandalorian until they put out something better. Now, so far, I don't know have you watched Winter Soldier? Falcon Winter Soldier?
That's the one where Captain America pulls the helicopter with his biceps on the building, right?
No, that's the new show that just came out last week.
Oh, no, I haven't.
I like it so far. Now, I've heard a couple things that say enjoy it while it's good, but anyway, the whole point is Disney's flagship property is Star Wars right now, theoretically on its streaming service and all that shit. And so with the Gina Carano debacle, it's the kind of thing where that is going to hurt Disney's numbers. That did hurt Disney's numbers in terms of the streaming. I don't think most people got HBO Max for the Snyder Cut in the first place, or have it for the Snyder Cut in the first place, or had that as the primary reason. Now, yeah, certainly our community, that's different. That maybe, but remember, our community and our opinions, we are the nerd people. That is not reflective of the population at large. The population at large.
What's the difference between HBO Max and HBO Go?
Currently, so now so it used to be you had HBO Go and HBO Now, and HBO Go was just the app-based HBO if you had HBO through a TV subscription service, and HBO Max or an HBO Now was just the app-based one. So HBO Now is gone. I think it's all HBO Max now, though. I don't know if they did away with Go or not.
Okay, that's good because I hated that because I'm like, can I just sign up like Netflix? And I was like, no, what's your TV TV thing? And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I don't have TV.
Oh, you could have done HBO Now then back in the day. So
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so because the HBO Now is their app-based one, so you didn't need that. But yeah, so HBO Max is, I know they phased out Now. I don't know if they phased out Go or they're going to. Go is gone, Shadow Warchild said. So yeah, so it's all Max now. But yeah, and so that's the thing too, is if you had HBO if you had it for HBO, not for the Warner Brothers reasons, you're going to keep HBO Max for the HBO reasons. And there's tons of other. HBO was a popular service even after Game of Thrones went off of it. They still had subscribers, they still had life to it, and now it's rolled in with Warner Brothers, the rest of Warner Brothers catalog. So unfortunately, even though I support everybody, voting with your wallets, or that's the best way to share your opinion, unfortunately, I don't think a mass exit over opinions over the Snyder Cut is going to nearly have the same financial impact on Warner Brothers as it would for Disney. And we had another super chat about this from Gypsy Warrior. Says the way they treated Zack Snyder was disgusting. In the beginning, yes. When they first, here's the thing. Yes.
I would say who? Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers, yeah. When they first pushed him off the project, the way they handled that was not cool. And the way they handled his, work was not cool. That said, it was also very normal.
They're saying I harassed them.
They're such lying fucks. How? Harassing is adding someone. Making a video is not harassment. Yeah, sorry, but making a video isn't harassment.
Oh wait, you're not typing, are you?
Maybe.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't give me the satisfaction.
So
Don't just use that as fuel.
With all of it, it's fucking
don't give them fuel.
So here's my thing. I don't feel bad for Zack Snyder one single bit about anything anymore. When that shit went down, it sucked. He was dealing with what happened with his daughter. All that sucked. And Warner Brothers took advantage of the situation he was in to basically just do whatever they wanted to do with his work. The thing is, it's not new in Hollywood. And Zack Snyder, though, what is unique is that Zack Snyder had it made up to him. Nobody gets that. Nobody gets fucking $70 million and an effective carte blanche, although as we're told it wasn't enough. So that's why I don't fucking feel bad. Nobody gets the second chance. Very few people get a director's cut ever at all. Even with extenuating circumstances like Zacky Poos. He had these extenuating circumstances. Everyone felt so bad. So Warner Brothers, to make it up for him and appease the fans, pours 2 years of work, $70 million into letting him have his precious cut. And all he's done is bitch. All he's done has been an ungrateful fucking asshole about it since he got, what did we have? Snyder Cut's happening. Okay, for like 2 weeks, everyone was like, cool. Zach got a Snyder Cut. Everyone feels pretty good about it. I don't really care about it. It was pretty much like no one was pissed off except for Dion because he hates Zack Snyder. But like most people were either just like, I'm glad he got it, even though I don't care about it, or hooray, the Snyder Cut. And then a couple weeks after that, we had to come out. Now it can't just be, yay, everyone's happy. Now we got to cancel Joss Whedon over this shit. We got to have Ray Fisher coming out about how excited he is for the Snyder Cut to finally get featured more, which, bro, your ass all your scenes got cut out of the first one because you're not that good at acting. That's why. Like, could you become good? Sure. This was your first feature film. The world is your oyster. You're a young man. But fucking before you're worried about bitching publicly about your work, your material getting cut out, make sure it deserves to be on the screen because, bro, it didn't. And if you did anything, you hurt your stock as an actor by letting us see more of that. And so you had that, and then you had more money getting put at it. And now that it's out, you have Zack Snyder doing these interviews saying how, Warner Brothers wouldn't let me do everything I wanted. They wouldn't let me add this and that and this. And he's just being a whiny little bitch about how I didn't get every fucking thing that I absolutely wanted. So I no longer have any sympathy or care or concern for him whatsoever. And then he did this thing.
That's kind of the thing. Some of the best movies that have been made is when directors have insane limitations. Like, yeah, you're not allowed to do that. So it's like, how do you do that? When you have like either it be budget, resources, you don't get the actor or actress you want, you don't get the script writer you want, you don't get the time of day to film that you want. So what do? You
make
you
it work.
make the best of the situation. Steven Spielberg had to make a shark movie without a fucking shark.
Exactly. That damn
When
thing.
when you have the limitations, that's usually when your creativity comes forth.
That thing only became the first summer blockbuster because its December release got pushed back due to technical difficulties filming with the fucking shark. So accidents make the greatest miracles sometimes, but categorically, time and time again, when a director is given too much control and too much leeway, what they come up with is a fucking college experimental film class wet dream with all of their little gimmicks and the things that make them feel good as a filmmaker, which may be good in pieces, but when there's nobody to tell them no and what to take out of it, it becomes this fucking 4-hour vomitous mess of just flipping through 8 different movies that don't make any fucking sense. So Gypsy Warrior, while I'm with you that the way the studio treated him initially was not right, and while it was correct, it was really correct and bigger than we've seen. And so kudos to the fans who pushed that movement to give Zach the second chance. That was cool. Oh yeah, and then Zach did this thing, right, where he actually was talking to a friend of mine, and they organized a charity stream together, and that friend went and did all this work to promote the charity stream to make it, this big flop, huge honking success to raise money for suicide prevention. And then Zach came on the stream and fucking publicly shat all over that friend of mine. So that kind of lost him a lot of points in my book too.
Well, so there, like the debate that we were watching last night on the High Council, it's like, okay, well, if there's going to be a problem, and it's going to get him in trouble, and it's going to get illegal. It's going to get him in legal trouble, and it's going to affect the way that you run this charity stream. Because at the end of the day, it's not for you to have clout because Zack Snyder's on. It's not for you to really promote the Justice League, but you want to do a favor and help him out because this is it's his, a charity that's dear to his heart because of his daughter. Okay, well, if it's going to cause everyone problems, then just don't come on.
Exactly. That's my whole stance. Everyone trying to say, well, he needed to say something and do this. No, he didn't. He didn't have to be on that stream. He was not, there was no obligation or requirement or whatever. It was something that the community wanted to do to support a cause that was important to him, and he wanted to be a part of it. And if that was a problem in any way, shape, or form, he easily could have bowed out. He could have made any excuse under the sun to not fucking be there, but he didn't have to come on there and publicly lambaste the very person that was responsible for bringing it together in the first place. So,
and you know what I would have said? If I was on that stream after he made the association, like, yeah, we're not for hate, I would have immediately said, yes, we're not for hate, and we, as as a member of Geeks and Gamers, even though we're not, this is an Uche stream for this, we also are heartbroken for the traumatic event that happened in Georgia. Yeah. That's what I would have said, and that wouldn't have gotten Zach in any kind of trouble.
No, absolutely. I think I would have taken that moment to be like, well, as an affiliate of Geeks and Gamers, as a proud representative of Geeks and Gamers, I'd like to say on behalf of the team, our hearts are broken, blah, blah. Exactly. You could have
exactly. That's all you had to do.
The thing is, the shitty thing is, though, in the moment, not everyone's going to think to do that. The shitty thing is this is...
Well, here's the thing that I want to say about that. It's like, yes, in the moment, but here's the thing. If you are going to do this as your profession, you have to be quick-witted. You have to.
Honestly, at the point, because I know that they did get about a 10-15 minute heads up that he was going to say something before he came on.
Not everyone did, apparently.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, if I'm in that situation, you get that heads up, you got to go through every possible thing you're going to say. Like, you have to be ready. It sucks.
Well, I would have done that beforehand.
I would have been so ready. Exactly. In case of, because you just got to be ready in case of emergencies. I prep that way for my streams. If I have people on there, if I'm like, okay, I know that this is the way certain people, I know that I have these certain audience members who may say or do these certain things to you if you say or express these types of opinions. I prepare for that. I'm prepared for those scenarios. Oftentimes they don't come to pass. I'm fucking prepared for it because it's my goddamn job.
Well, that's what you do. I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this all the time. Whereas I lay up awake at night because I'm trying to go through every pot. And yeah, I might be a little, overly critical about things, but I'm like, oh my God, what if this happens? What if this happens? Like, and I stress myself out worrying about theoretical problems, but I have to come up with a solution to every problem that I can think of.
Yeah. Yep. No, exactly. Feeling Peak Health says, I run a home media server, so I have 100% control over whether I want to support a streaming service. Disney is too woke to spend my money. That's awesome. If you have the luxury and the power to do that, that is super nice. One of Jeff's cousins has a really nice home media server, and we actually have remote access to his movie library. So, yes. Gypsy Warrior, thank you again for the super chat. Says, can you see anything like hashtag release the Snyder Cut happening again? Some directors like Ridley Scott seem to make a living releasing director's cuts. That's not fair. Ridley Scott has made some great movies. Gladiator is one of my favorites. I love Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott's different though, because the thing is, Ridley Scott and the director's cut, he is somebody who doesn't release. The thing is, he doesn't release a director's cut for every movie. Ridley Scott releases a director's cut when the director's cut presents a vision that is different than the overall one that was actualized, which is correct. That's when it's cool to see different interpretations as a fun exercise. Hey, what was different? What was changed? You know, that's fine.
Yeah, and it was a game at that point.
This was an apology from Warner Brothers. The Snyder Cut was that. Now, unfortunately, I think all of the negative press that came and the bad blood has probably put the kibosh on any. Now it's also, we don't know, like we only know what we think about it, right? There's certainly, we have a very, very particular stance being a part of a community that had the Geeks and Gamers stream incident happen. So that's going to certainly color our reaction to it. I don't know what the public at large, how they felt about it. I don't know how they responded to it. I've been reading too much of the news. I'm sure I could go consult that and get a sense as well. But, and then I also don't know how it did numbers wise. I don't know if HBO Max will ever release that. You know, did their subscriptions increase? Did it go down? You know, how many people watched it? How much longevity does it have? Those are all questions that, like, depending on those answers, and we may not, again, get those at face value, those are answers we'll get when the next push for a director's cut comes out and we see how the studios treat it. If the studios ignore and move on from it very quickly and give it no credence and don't let it get any momentum or conversation started, then you know that from the industry standpoint, the Snyder Cut was a failure and studios are going to back away from that model. If there's another push coming, hashtag the Schumacher cut, I would like the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever personally.
Hey, did you guys know Ahsoka is a stereotypical woman?
Yeah, all the women I know are orange, actually. Yeah.
Well, I guess they're talking about it, but I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, she's super. What does that even mean? A stereotypical woman. These are the fucking people who want to break down barriers of what these words mean.
I think it's because she's attractive, even though she's an alien.
That's what they're trying to say. So that's what. So now attractive is stereotypical.
Again, that's just my assumption. I haven't watched it, or you know, I just have the chat up.
No shit on Ridley, by the way. He's awesome. Thank you, Gypsy Ward. He is one of my personal favorites. Although
he's made a lot of great things and a lot of bad things.
Oh yeah, he's one. Even though I always say with his bad things, like you can see where it was a few better decisions away from being a masterpiece, but they just. When he doesn't get it, when it doesn't come together, it just falls so flat.
I know this is bad. I have to pee again because my bladder is exploding. I'll be right back.
That's all good. If you guys could see any director's cut release, which would you pick and why? If you want to throw in a why, but that's all right. Yeah, there's nothing There's also like Rosario Dawson is not.
Hey! The right answer to that cut is the Anna cut of The Witcher.
We know
that is the right answer.
We fucking know. And the Cavill cut of Justice League and the Cavill cut of literally every movie he's in. So there you go. Analytics for Justice League. Well, there you go. Thank you, John Miller. A well-developed female character of non-human species origins is stereotypical. If only well-developed non-typical female characters were the stereotype. Oh yeah, darn! Look, just another well-crafted, well-developed female character. Whoops! Holy shit! This has jumped up to 96 dislikes. You guys are unpopular. You guys are un-effing popular. Yep. All I can say is, Meg, you brought this upon yourself of all this and should man up and apologize to Anna for trying to false flag her because you felt butthurt. But I know you won't. Good comment. Why must people see themselves in characters? Characters can be relatable without being a mirror image of yourself. That's just stupid. Fucking thank you. I see myself in Han Solo in spades. I see myself in tons of male action heroes. I've been compared to, there are moments where I'm watching movies with friends and that like the asshole male action hero guy does like the assholey thing and will have the look because they look at me and they're like, that's a you thing. Like, I've heard you say that, or like you've done that before. That's my archetype. My archetype is like somewhere between Malcolm Reynolds and Jane Cobb in a female version. My archetype is female Han Solo. Yeah, my base archetype is a gender swap, but that doesn't mean that the characters that I can play or should play in that regard are gender swapped characters. They're just characters that haven't been written because nobody writes good, strong female characters anymore.
I'm back. Well, we talked about this on that one live stream with the Jung. That's how you say it, right? I can never say it. Carl Jung.
Carl Jung, yeah.
Yeah, Carl Jung. Okay, when you look at his archetypes, you know, you got the king, the warrior, the wizard, the lover. Okay, well, Jesse's obviously the warrior. I'm obviously the wizard archetype, right? When you actually go and you look at it and the way that we interact with people and stuff like that. And so, and you know, just the way we are. And that it, yeah, those are the male ones. If you go look at the female ones, it's a lot more intricate, but I've always identified with those ones. I'm like, those are pretty gender neutral, you know, just switch out, put king/queen if you really are sensitive about it. I think it's, I remember when I was a kid, remember the Pirates of the Caribbean #3, where it's like Pirate King, Elizabeth Swann.
I love it.
I thought it was funny.
I love it. We have a running joke where like Jeff will say yes sir to me. It's tough because it's from something that he watched and what. It's not something about like, oh, you got to be gender specific and right. Oh, you fucking charm. It's not a big fucking deal. Get over yourself. It's not taking away your femininity by referring to you by the wrong pronoun. It's not changing your identity at all. If me saying words changes your identity, you have bigger fucking problems. Oh, thank you, Miss Tawny Jedi.
Also, I was kind of worried my cat got out. Turns out he was hiding somewhere.
Ha! We have the opposite of that today. We had the property manager knock on our door because one of our cats had slipped into the hall unbeknownst to us and had never come back in.
Where was he?
Oh, he was hanging out. I think he was just hanging out at the door at that point because she probably found him and then he was probably like meow. And when she went to go, hey, and he just walks over to the door. So
she's like,
hey,
let me fucking in.
Exactly. Like, I'm out here. He loved that. Then all he did for the next 3 hours was paw at the door, though, like an asshole. That's what he does. But yeah, I think now we've gone for 3 hours. So I think
3 hours. Have you read all your super chats?
I have caught up on super chats now. We are a-okay. So I think it's about time. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I had a blast. This was fun. Guys, just be to people the way you would like them to be to you. Oh, something new things that you guys should know. It's a French phrase. Did you know this is a very key phrase, as the French say, knobgoblin. This happened in Mad Libs last night. So knobgoblin.
Whoa.
Don't worry about it. Whoa, is there more drama?
She's lying. I guess she's denying trying to deplatform me. The entire chat is like, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying.
Dude.
Okay, here, I'll share it. We can stream snipe this part.
All right.
Are you okay?
What, me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm excited. You were the one who didn't
I'm going to have to mute myself, though, because it'll have an echo.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I'm always happy to have conversations with anyone who disagrees with me. But nowhere ever have I ever seen anyone tweet a legitimate question at me or ask me anything. I'm not interested in having a conversation if you're just throwing insults. Like, that's not a conversation. So I don't know what you want, but yeah.
And to all of those people who have been going after others' appearances about this and calling names, grow up.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I agree. Don't call names and don't talk about people's appearances.
The worst you can do is because someone has a different opinion than you, they're ugly or fat.
That's what I just said like 20 minutes ago.
Exactly. Y'all are the ones who do that, though.
Well, see, that's the thing. They don't realize that they actually agree with me.
Exactly. We're literally just said that on our stream, so whatever.
But so yeah, that's it. I guess Yellow Flash. See, he's right there. He was commenting. Yeah, well, apparently nothing I said was valid, even though I pointed out everything. So she wants me to tweet an actual question to her. It's like, well, this is a person that isn't accountable for anything that they did.
Yeah, sorry. Her not having an answer to your very valid questions does not make them invalid. Why are there two men in that stream? I don't know. They're probably, I'm sure they're allies.
I think this is his channel. This guy right here.
All right.
And then I think they're all friends or in a group or something, but I don't know.
Who knows? Why do they all look like unhappy stoners? I'm sure they are very unhappy. If this is what they're spending their time doing.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, and here we're not going to watch this anymore. Here's the thing. If they actually talk to me, which they didn't, which they won't, they would find that we actually agree on a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, remember I said that like 20 minutes ago, and I gave that very long explanation on why the second that you go and you stoop to that level of commenting on somebody's appearance, it's like, well, then you don't really have anything to stand on. You don't have any criticisms to stand on.
Yeah.
You know?
True story. True story. No, exactly. I just tweet me a question, blocks Anna. So about that. Exactly.
Oh yeah. No. Oh yeah, that's true. I'm blocked.
This is to me, this right there, it tells you everything that you need to know, that she's denying trying to deplatform you. You know, you cannot, if you cannot accept that if you cannot own what you did, that's the thing. It would be one thing if she was like, yeah, I tried to deplatform her because she deserves it, because she's hateful, because she's that. You're not even standing by the things you said. So she's so weak and cowardly that she can't even back up in her words the things she's willing to type. We talk about, I don't know that shit all the time. If you won't say it to my face, don't you fucking dare tweet it at me. Exactly. And that's her right now. And she's not even trying to say it to your face. She's just trying to say it out loud. She can't even say it out loud.
She wouldn't even acknowledge me. She said, oh, look at all of these bad people trying to harass women. And then I would point out, that's exactly what you're doing, though. You're trying to harass me, a woman.
This entire dedicated, this entire stream you guys are doing is dedicated to harassing a woman. So fuck off, assholes.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, oh my God. It's really pathetic. Smells like they are clout chasers to me. Damn straight, Shiny FX. Thank you.
Well, see, that's exactly what happened, Shiny. When my first video came out and I showed that, all she would have had to done is probably respond to it and say, no, you could play the ignorant card. Ignorance is bliss, that kind of thing. Oh, I didn't realize that this was going to piss off a lot of people. I didn't realize that my terminology was going to, this is how I personally feel. And I'm sorry if you people, because Twitter is public, that you guys don't know me. You don't know my heart. You don't know what I'm about. You don't know what I mean, because I could say something crazy. I could tweet, ha ha ha, Sav likes serial killers, or Sav's obsessed with serial killers, meaning my best friend, Sav, she's fascinated by learning about serial killers. She likes watching those documentaries. Yeah. Okay. So does Kelly Jedi Bunny, by the way, which I thought was crazy to find out. But so if I tweeted that and a stranger saw that, and then they'd be like, whoa, Sav likes serial killers? What's wrong with her? Because people don't know me or don't know her. They don't know me and like our friendship. They don't understand the context. So if she said that, like, hey guys, this is a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Guess what? Normal people are going to be, we're all human. We can understand that. And if she clarified, but no, you know what she did? She went and she hid all of her videos. She privated all of them. And she didn't block me. She blocked me yesterday, right? Or maybe today. I'm blanking on it because it's been like a crazy 24 hours. But you know what's funny? Ryan Cannell did a video on it. Did you do a video on it?
Not yet.
I think Jeff did a video. No, I'm talking 6 months ago.
Oh, the 6 months ago one. I don't remember. I might not have been doing videos then.
I think Jeff did it. I know Jeremy did it.
Because
I think everyone did it, but because I did it, I'm the bad guy.
Right.
Because like I said earlier, I was the one that found her YouTube channel, and I said, "Hey, you've actually had a safe space platform to do it." She actually has had multiple safe space platforms to do stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. No one stopped you from doing that. Now I'm trying to say, let's see, did I make a video on it? Do you remember what month around it happened?
They ended their stream. Yeah, I have the screenshots from back then. Let me find it. Sorry guys, if my connection is bad, it's because I'm downloading my live stream from earlier, and I'm uploading my live stream from yesterday or the day before, whenever I did that George Lucas stream. So my internet might be shitty because my computer is doing too many things. So I apologize for that. Let's see, when was it? When was it?
I don't think I did because I don't think I was making videos then. There was I made 4 videos all of last year, pretty much.
Okay, I found it. It was August 26, 2020.
That was exactly during the time when I was not making any videos. The only video I made anywhere nearby there was my Bill and Ted review. And then I did a Chadwick Boseman one, and my music video was months before that. That was during my I don't make videos because fuck you, YouTube, you hate me. So, but I definitely talked about it on stream, and I definitely replied to some of her tweets and stuff, though. I know I was very because I remember it all happening and going down. So I'm pretty sure I know for a fact I engaged with her on Twitter. I engaged with her threads on Twitter a bunch, but never got blocked. So that makes me a little disappointed because a bunch of you guys got blocked by her and I didn't. So clearly I'm not trying hard enough. You know what it is? People see my short hair.
I got blocked yesterday.
Oh, there you go. So I just got to try a little harder, and then I'm sure I'll get blocked too. That's what's important. Hey, and we got Tree Fitty from Flaming TP. Thank you for Tree Fitty. Thank you for Tree Fitty.
I feel like it's been a while since I've seen Flaming TP.
He's been in and out. I've been keeping in touch a little bit behind the scenes too, but he's been in. Hey, John Cassell says, hey, Jesse. Hey, Anna. Love you both, ladies. Love back to you. Gypsy Warrior says, as Freddie Mercury said, they're talking from her. Points to butt. Or they're talking from here. That's what it says. They're talking from here. Points to butt. By the way, Anna, thank you for pinning my beep bop boop comment. Meant a lot. Aw.
No problem. Yeah, I'll go through for a while. I didn't, sometimes I'll pin comments. Other times I don't, because then because if somebody makes a good point, then, and if I pin it, then they get spammed by all the weirdos that show up in my held for review comments. So I was like, do I really want to put that on people? Because I know some people really like it when their comments get pinned. So if it really strikes me now, that's the only time I pin it. So, guys, I try to see every single comment, and recently when there's thousands of comments, sometimes even if it shows me that I've seen all of them, I actually don't, because then I go on my computer and I see more.
There's more. Yeah, it doesn't always load them on that things. Now, Josie Manowich, thank you for the super sticker. It's a little happy controller. It's a video game controller, and he's dancing. That's exciting. Thank you so much for that. All right, and now we're caught up again on super chats. So, I guess are we this is this show has had more endings than Return of the King. So
I know, right?
Are we really finishing it now? Is it really over?
Yes, we are. We are finishing the stream.
No more super chats. Okay, so where we were before, right? So Anna, any last things? Any last thoughts, feelings, words, places people can find you?
Let's see. If I would say, if I was to give any advice to someone, if you don't like, opinions that you don't agree with, don't go on the internet. If you don't like people questioning you, don't be on the internet. If you don't like seeing things that, again, you don't agree with, maybe don't go on the internet. And also, when you pull a dog's tail, don't cry the victim when the dog bites you.
Exactly.
Jack show's on my channel tomorrow.
Woo! So everyone go watch the Jack show tomorrow after World Class Bullshitters, of course, as well. go back stealing solo. Go follow me on LIVIT. Make sure you're subbed to Anna everywhere, her art channel as well as her live channel too, so you can catch all these replays and all of her awesome artwork, like the time-lapse video of her painting the incredible Stealing Solo cover out now. So do all that stuff. One more super chat. John Miller says, you chicks are cool. Found you guys today. Welcome on board. Welcome to the Matriarchy. Welcome to the Mindless Mob. We have so much fucking fun. So I'm glad that you're here, John Miller, and hopefully we'll see lots and lots more of you. Thank you so much for the super chat. So all of that said, done. Follow us everywhere. Come support. Make sure you're subbed to Anna because we'll be on her channel next week. And as the French say, Knob Goblin.